Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. We are back for another serving of AK Racing's V8 Supercar Championship. As you've guessed by looking out the front window of Lawrence Smith's Nissan Altima, the best looking V8 supercar of all time, you'll see that we are at the famous Mount Panorama circuit, located in Bathurst there in New South Wales. And if you haven't heard of this track, then you can go and put yourself in the bin right now. As I'm sure some of these drivers will be putting themselves in the bin around this treacherous track tonight. As you can see how close these walls are. And if you want to put yourself on pole position, you're going to have to get as close as you can to each and every one of these walls on the entries and exits of all the turns on this absolutely spectacular circuit. I'm going to see how Lockie Grant's going here. Fairly big turnout tonight. At least 25 drivers in the server. So we'll see how they all manage to get around this this track and keep things relatively clean as well. Tonight's format, something a little bit different for the first time this season. It is Enduro round, so we'll have a 20-minute qualifying session which will determine who gets to participate in the top 10 shootout. Just like they do in the real world, we will have a top 10 shootout to see who can take the pole position in this first Enduro round for the season. And whoever does that is going to put themselves in pretty good stead for the 2-hour race that will precede it. 2 hours around the mountain. Obviously mandatory pit, because I don't think there's any way, even with fuel saving, that you can make it that far. So we're going to see a multitude of pit strategies tonight. Who's going to use the super softs off the line to maybe gain a few positions early? Is it worth doing so? Or is it worth just strapping on the softs for the whole race? Maybe do a bit of a splash and dash at the end with the super softs on board. Do a few hotties towards the end of the lap, or end of the race, sorry. It's anyone's guess. So I'm certainly excited to see how this is going to unfold. We've got our top 6 drivers on the timing tower in the pits at the moment. So they might just be getting themselves ready, going to get a drink and lighten off the load a little bit before the 2-hour race, because it's certainly going to be one of the longer nights of the season. Designed to test our drivers to the max. Our man at the top of the timing tower is out on track at the moment. That is Matt Cotter. He dipped into the 201s during the week in practice. So we'll be interested to see how close he can get to that during the 20-minute qualifying session. Certainly one of his favoured tracks of the calendar. So all eyes will be on Matt Cotter once practice comes to an end and these guys drop the sandbags off and get down to business. That it will be qualifying. Oh, as you can see, I think he's on an outlap, but he's leaving nothing to the imagination. Getting very close to these walls, as you can see. Oh, here he's just he's decided to play it a bit safe, as it is a fairly long outlap, 2 minutes or so on cold tyres, a bit over 2 minutes. So you don't want to get halfway around and break your steering arm and have to go back to the pits. Waste all those precious minutes. Let's look down the field. We've got a few liveries missing at the moment, so you're going to see a few white cars on track at the moment, but I think it's just a bit of a server glitch that should hopefully come good during the race, because you might notice that all of the VF Commodores are all white, which is not ideal because there's a fair few VFs. Actually, looking at the timing tower, 4 of the top 5 are all in the VF. These cars are all matched, though, in the server, so there is no advantage to be had in the VF. Much the same as the Mercedes last season. They are all the same, and the only difference are the people sitting in the driver's seat. So you see everyone's coming back to pits now. I think we might be getting ready for a race briefing. So I might take that opportunity to just have a little fly around this circuit. See if my free cam skills have gotten any better. We can take some bets in the chat. Tell you what, if you've bet no, they have not gotten any better, you would be correct. So for race start, they're going to be right there in the middle of the track. So they'll be coming into coming into turn 1 here. All bustling and jostling for position as they head up the mountain. It's one of the most difficult corners on the track because it's so beneficial to get a good exit out of here because you've got such a long straight heading up the hill, so as much momentum as you can get. It's definitely advantageous because you can gain up to a second if you get a pretty good exit out of that first corner. So we head up Mountain Straight. It's only a thin bit of tarmac, maybe only enough room for 2 or 3 wide. So you might see a few drivers trying to just hit that gap. Trying to just hit that gap up the hill. We're going to fly under the Ned Whiskey sign. But they all want to get into the correct position here for turn 2. Griffin's Bend is an uphill right-hander with a bit of camber as well. So you can actually take this turn a little bit quicker than what you might think. And because of the wonders of science and gravity, you have a little bit more grip heading up into turn 3 and 4 here. Braking just as you start turning, and you want to try and brake in a straight line out to the edge of the track here. Duck back in. Oops, sorry, my free cam skills are terrible. Duck back in and get a good run up the hill here. A slight lift over the crest, as the rear end does like to kick out as you lose a bit of that gravity over that hill. And up through here, very important part of the track also, because it's pretty much all flat stick from here down to the bottom of the hill, or the bottom of the grate, should we say, up over Reed Park. And just here we'll see a lot of load on the right-hand tyres as they try and turn it in and get those left-hand tyres just hugging that bit of ripple strip there, and they'll run it right out to the edge of the fence, trying not to hit it. A slight lift here into McPhillamy to get that front end turned in and back on the power as early as possible. Running it wide again, you might see a few tyres dip off into the grass there. And now this probably for me is the most difficult part of the track, but another part of the track where you can make up a hell of a lot of time if you've got it right. Braking down a couple of gears, going across the curbs there, trying to duck in and stay as far to the right as possible and chuck it down the hill through the dipper and set off down the hill towards Forest Elbow. Which in my opinion is another one of the most important turns on the track, because if you're a regular to the channel, you know that if there's a long straight after that turn, you want to get it right. A lot of time to be made up on the straights if you can get a very good exit. One of the most famous straights in all of Australian motorsport, Conrod Straight, ladies and gentlemen. And at this speed, we're going to take a little longer to get down there than the Supercars do. Try and get down to track level. And see the elevation change at the bottom here. We go up again. Under the 8K Racing Go Race Promotions signage. You can see our mods team have done a great job putting a bit of candy on the track. Make it look beautiful for us viewers at home. Down through the kink. Might see a bit of side-by-side action here as the race progresses. And then it's a battle of the late breakers down into the chase here. Maybe just before the 150 mark. Banging down the gears into second. Maybe using a bit of that inside curb. And then from here, if you've got your car set up right, you can be full throttle through that section. Down into Murray's, where I think we might see a few overtakes as well. Well, the good part about that is if you are getting overtaken into Murray's, you can set yourself up for a bit of a switchback. Turn in late, bit of a late apex, and slingshot yourself up the inside for turn 1. But that there is a flyover lap of Mount Panorama Circuit. Tell you what, we've got almost 30 cars tonight for this 2-hour enduro. Taking bets how many cars will finish the race. So we fly down here. We'll see if we can find any liveries available. Jim Park is in the server. We can see there. Riley Walsh. Richard King back for some more after his first time out at Adelaide. One of the more difficult tracks to start your V8 supercar career here at AK Racing. So I think he had a fair bit of damage through most of that race, but he's back for some more. James Delaney, missing a livery. Crowd favourite Andrew Ferguson is always back for some more. You can't keep him away from this stuff. He absolutely loves it. I think that is Cam Smith in the Bottle entry. So he's back for some more. Matt Cotter, our man to watch on the grid. Alex Fazzari missing a livery as well. Hopefully a lot of these liveries will turn up once the server kicks over to qualifying. So it's going to be a bit of a guessing game of what happens there. I think we've got Alex. I'm going to have a quick squiz at the standings. I'm going to see who is instead to take this lead of the championship tonight, because it is a bonus round with the points, so it is 260 odd points for the winner. So quite a decent chunk of points. So it is Alex McEwen who is on top at the moment for Project 4 Racing. He's on 564 points. So he's 120 points ahead of James Delaney for Delta Racing Team. Matt Cotter is in third place, only 13 points behind James. Stephen Marsden has absolutely got off to a flying start this season, and he sits fourth, and he will be absolutely flying with that. He hopes to have a good enduro around here, and that might slingshot him up just another position. Nick Mello, fifth. Bit of bad luck at Adelaide. We saw him come off the track a couple of times, and so that might have really hurt his chances in the championship so far. But as we say, there's a lot of races to go. It's only round 3. Ryan Hawkins, our new man in the top 10, I suppose, of AK Racing now. He's the championship leader over in the Aussie Race Cars series, which we run on the opposite Sunday. He was absolutely flying in Adelaide last time out. Totally untouchable. And as we've seen in the Wednesday Cup series as well, Ryan Hawkins is certainly one of the better drivers around here. So he's gonna be making leaps and bounds in the V8 Supercars. So he'll be definitely one to watch in the rounds coming up. His teammate sits just behind him, Luke Newing, in the factory Volvos. You might see both of these guys a pretty similar pace as well. We've seen them not battling, but working together as a team throughout the season so far. Scotty Garrick for Pro Sim Centre Racing is up there in 8th on 334 points. Andrew Ferguson sits just behind him on 312, and with Daniel Walsh coming 10th on 268. Now, we saw him at Phillip Island get taken out both races within 50 metres of the start, so he'll be hoping for a bit better luck this time around. take a look at the team standings, and Project 4 is kicking clear at the moment. They're on 1,002 points. That must be 147 points clear of Swedish Meatballs. So Project 4 is Alex McEwen and Nick Mello. Swedish Meatballs being Ryan Hawkins and Luke Newing. Flat Packed Racing, that is Andrew Ferguson and Stephen Marsden up into third. Delta Racing team of Walsh and Delaney. Mobile One Racing sitting fifth with Harley Marshall and Lachlan Grant. Centre Defend Motorsport sixth with Cotter and Jenkos. Pro Sim Centre with Guy Duff and Scotty Garrick there in seventh position. Sega Saturn Racing is Cooper Shipley, and he's got a new teammate, Bradsky Turby, as his old teammate packed it up and had enough, so he's off, and hopefully Cooper's new teammate can stick around and show a bit more ticker, perhaps. The Norton Hornets of Smith and I'm trying to do my memory too much now. Smith and sorry everyone at home, and sorry for Smith's teammate. It's Brandon Pierce. How could I forget? Sorry, Brandon. But that's our team. It's our team standing so far. And Cowsonic Nissan Motorsport coming 10th. With Shayton Byron and Brody Sharp. So all these guys ones to watch, and anyone can win in a 2-hour race. Just takes a bit of strategy. We might see some safety cars tonight, as it is quite a treacherous course, especially when there's so many cars out on track. The boys are going to have to be pretty careful. So get a nice little shot of the mountain there. And once this free practice session closes up, I think we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with our qualifying session. So that will be 20 minutes of qualifying, followed by the top 10 shootout, followed by a 2-hour timed race. So I'm pretty sure it's 2 hours plus 1 lap, but I could be wrong. We will we'll find out in the break, and we'll have some sort of confirmation for that. But everyone at home, go and get some dinner, get some drinks, get comfortable, and join us soon for qualifying.
Yourself. Yep.
If I can chime in as well, just if you're racing someone and you come up on a blue flag as well, maybe don't try and stuff it up the inside as you're negotiating the blue flag and add to the chaos. Just get past the blue flag and get racing again. You can keep it gentlemanly and
We'll be back very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, with a bit of an extended driver briefing tonight, just because of the amount of drivers and the length of the race tonight. It's going to be... We needed a few more points talked through over the driver comms. So the race directors were giving their best shout to everyone else to try and be clean. Try and keep it fun for everyone else. We don't want to see any silly stuff here on the stream, as certainly you guys don't want to see that at home either. So we're just waiting now for the qualifying server to go up, which it is. So we're going to join that straight away. Try and get ourselves a nice little vantage point for this first qualifying session of our Enduro series. There will be 2 Enduro races this season. You guessed it. One here at Bathurst and the other at Sandown. Both going to be 2-hour races. So we're absolutely looking forward to both of those. But we're going to get our first taste of who is the most consistent here tonight. But not before we get to see who is the quickest with no fuel and very fresh tyres. See how these super softs can grip to this Bathurst surface. So we're just waiting for the server now, and we're in. Let's get a nice view of the pit lane. We're going to walk up here while I welcome our co-commentator, Mr. Zach O'Reilly, to the stream.
Good evening. Good evening, Christopher. How is everyone tonight? I hope everyone's having a good beverage on a Sunday night, or just kicking back with a tea or a bit of Rocco biscuits or some Mari biscuits, whatever you want, watching the stream. Welcome all. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. Couldn't think of a better place to be on a Sunday night, except watching the stream when my free cam skills are involved.
It's a lot to be desired, but that's okay. Yeah. That's why we get paid the big bucks, because it's just a bit different.
We'll get better as the season goes on. Tell you what, I'm looking down the field and there are still a few white cars going on, so I don't know what's going on with the server, but we're missing liveries. Thankfully, if we just zoom in, the names and numbers are still on the car. So we've got Nick Mello there in a white VF, and it looks like we are off for qualifying. It is green light here in pit lane, and Matt Cotter is going to lead us out onto the track first. So we're going to just follow him along for his out lap. He did do a 2:01 through the week, so he is probably our man I'm going to tip for pole position here tonight. So we've got Nick Mello just giving him a fair bit of a hurry up. I think this is the first time we've seen Nick Mello not be the first man out on track.
He's generally quick off the mark, isn't he?
He certainly has his finger on the reload button, waiting for that server to go up. But I think Cotter's been doing a bit of practice during the week on the old refresh.
Well, he's done enough laps into server. Matthew Cotter, our practice leaderboard time setter, with that 2:01.806. That is flying. I don't know really how else to put it. That is a new lap record around here, I would say, in AK Racing.
Absolutely. With these new tyre updates, they are a little bit stickier. So we'll see. I think so far this season we've seen lap records being broken nearly every time. So we're going to certainly probably get into the 2:01s tonight. Too flat even. Is too flat possible?
I think too flat is probably a bit alienish, as in out of this world, but we might see a 2:01 flat. We could be closer to that, I reckon. But nonetheless, we will see how we go as Cotter and Longley, and Longley and Mello come down off Conrad Straight down into the final turn to start their hot laps. And this is looking very good. I can't wait to see the first lap here, Chris.
Yeah, we're going to try and ride on board with Matt Cotter if my keyboard... There we go. And you can talk us through the hot lap, Mr. O'Reilly.
Beautiful as we come into turn 1 up Mountain Straight. Beautiful exit from Matthew Cotter there. You have to get that exit right, else you are in trouble for the rest of the lap. as you approach up here into 5th gear, over the rise, hit about 230 kilometres as you fling it into this corner, making it the 100 metre mark. We're braking, nice tight apex, coming up the hill. Now, wide exit from Cotter there. A lot of people don't ride the curb, but that's okay. It's a fantastic line that he's taking. A lot of different lines through here. And it just basically makes the whole race lap a different experience, whoever you are on board with. Beautiful drive. Holds it in 3rd as we come over the rise here, basically into Jimmy Golden corner. Over the grate. Hold it in 4th. A little lift. A little bit of a slide there from Cotter as well. Coming up over into the Skyline run, down the hill into the S's. Is he flicking into 5th? Yes, he does. Quickly. Back down to 4th, back down to 3rd, ride the curb on the left-hand side, hug the wall on the right-hand side, and then the left, which flings you right out to the right there as you come through the S's. And now we're coming here into the Forest Elbow. This is a beautiful corner. Flicks it into 1st to get that extra drive as we come out. 2nd as an early shift. A long run as we go down Conrod straight here. Flicking into 5th. Approaching over the top of the crest here. It's a blind crest into 6th gear. Hit about 270 as you come under the AK Racing sign, all the way to a top speed here of about 290k an hour, I think, at this rate. Brakes at the 170 metre mark, straight into the final left to right kink. A lot of accidents around this corner, as we've seen in late races in real life, but this is fantastic lap by Matthew Cotter here. Very clean. Brakes just at the 100 metre mark. Ticks it into 1st, slides it in, early shift into 2nd, and there's your lap of Mount Panorama with a 2:02.3. That is a absolute perler.
That's flying to start with as we see the times coming in thick and fast. Walsh up to 2nd with the 2:03.1, but I feel like these guys are just getting started as Matt Cotter is going to just do one hot lap on those set of tyres and he's going to come back in. So that's interesting strategy there from Matt Cotter. Let's check in with Stephen Marsden. His first lap is a 2:04 flat, so he'll be looking to improve on that one around this time. As he heads up Mountain Straight for the second of his hot laps. So he's choosing to maybe get two laps out, 3 laps out of a brand new set of supers. I guess Cotter's done the testing during the week. They might just be good for 1 lap.
It depends, actually. These tyres at the conditions we've got here, it's a very hot day at Bathurst. 38 track temp. They tend to get a bit hot as you do more than 1 out lap and then a fast lap. So must be fueled up very early just to get into it and continue on and keep resetting as he goes through.
Yeah, well, we've got enough time with an extended qualifying session tonight of 20 minutes, so you can get a couple more out laps in, maybe take advantage of that 1 lap qualifying pace, and chuck on the new boots every time you go around. So we might see Cotter just nursing those tyres through the first opening sort of out lap and then really getting them up to temp, because I think, as you said, it's a very hot day here in Bathurst, so these tyres are pretty much up to temp by the time you get up to the top of the hill. Then they start degging pretty quick, so we're going to be in for some dead tyres here during the race, I've got a feeling.
It's going to be a lot of tyre strategy, but in saying that, the fuel usage is pretty high here. And you get about 18 or 19 laps out of 112 litres of fuel. So about 40 minutes of go time around the circuit between drinks for fuel. So it'll be interesting to see what people do.
Yeah, absolutely, because there is that golden number where the tyres start to degrade so much that it's worth coming in for an extra pit stop over the stint, or over the race, should I say. Marsden improves to 2:03.4. So we might see guys maybe coming in to pit during the race, maybe with fuel still on board, and maybe just
I think they will.
Yeah, maybe just having an extra pit stop during the way. John Madigan is our first timer this season. We saw him last season in the Nissan Altima, so he's back for some more. He's back for some more action. My voice ran out of breath there, but. He was very impressive last year, so wait for him to get up to speed, and we'll absolutely, I think we'll see him in the top 10.
At some stage through the season, I agree. And also a big welcome back to Jacob Albertsma as well. A veteran of AK Racing is popped up tonight, so he'll be back in the series as we go around too. So See where he can land himself for the first time in a long time around Bathurst in our new V8 Supercars with the new tyre compound. So,
yeah,
very interesting.
Might not be used to these ones, but we'll see how we go. There's a good Pro Sim Centre car off the track there at turn 1. That might have been Guy Duff.
It was Duffy.
Yep. As we see, look at the difference between first and second here.
9 1,000ths of a second, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't get much closer. Delaney's on fire. And the next best is a fair ways away with Walshy on about another 8/10 away. So a lot of time to find for the boys. Maybe a bit of that traffic, Chris. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, with this many cars... Oh, Hawkins hits the wall hard. That's going to hurt him. But, yeah, with this many cars on track, it's going to be certainly a game of just trying to find a bit of clear air for your hot lap run. Certainly... It feels like a long time, 20 minutes, but if you waste a couple of times around getting stuck in traffic, the stress levels start to rise as you see that time go down and down. You've got 3-4 minutes to go. You still haven't set a hot lap. The sweat starts to pour out from you, I can guarantee you that.
A bit of adrenaline peaks as well, too. You're shaking before you get to the end of the lap to start a good one. You finally get that nice run as you exit the last corner. It's very crucial.
Yep. And then you see a car park up into turn 2 and go, oh, Jesus. Ryan Hawkins still driving on with a bit of damage there you can see on the right-hand side of that Volvo. Whoa, big slide out of the chase as well. And he's going to, looks like he's pulling into the pits. He is. He's going to get that damage sorted out. And probably a wise idea.
Now, Harley Marshall, I'm just checking the deltas. He's already half a second up as he enters Griffiths Bend. So watch out for Harley. He's going to come through the field here and get into the 202s if he keeps it together.
Absolutely. We've seen Harley have a bit of a uncharacteristic bad couple of first rounds. He's been down the order from what we're used to seeing in previous seasons. So he's certainly one of the guys to watch to make his way through the field, well, at least through the standings in the championship.
Very much so.
As you said, he's half a second up on his PB. That should get him into the 209s, but 3/10 down in the first sector there, so he's made a mistake somewhere.
Just looking at the deltas here, we've got a couple of people who are going to improve on lap times if they can keep it together. Mind you, they're halfway around the track, so a lot happens at the top of the mountain.
Oh, it's... certainly one of those tracks where a lot can happen between halfway down and halfway up.
As we've got just under 10 minutes to go, so we're halfway through the session now. And we might see some winding up of times here. We've got Alex McEwen doing a best of everyone in the first sector with a 48.9. He's just coming over the top of the mountain, over the Great and over into Skyline. So keep an eye out for him. He's half a second up on his delta already.
Absolutely. Stephen Marsden dipping into the 202s. Great lap from him. That's a 202.9. That's huge.
That's massive. That's massive. Well done, Steve.
We'll see what Harley can cross the line and put across here. It is an invalid lap. That's unlucky for Harley. Must have diced a bit too much with some track limits there across the top, perhaps.
Yes, and with track limits and a bit of traffic, as we're seeing, as I can just looking here at Alex McEwen off screen. He's coming down Conrod Straight. He's 1 second up on his best lap from what I can see.
Yeah, he's absolutely purple in both sectors now, a 10th in both, so he's looking for a 202 flat. This is going to be a huge lap if he can get across the line before this traffic impedes him. He's got Angus Wells that's popped out in the worst possible time, and that has put a stop to that lap. Oh, Alex, I wouldn't want to be in that room with him right now.
No, not one bit.
Not one bit at all. Boy. See how Caleb O'Connor's going. That was unreal. He was purple in 2 sectors and then cops a bit of slow traffic in the last corner. Oh, tragic.
Just to compare to there in that unfortunate event, Delaney, who's now set a 202.277 on top, McEwen was 0.3 of a second quicker than him on his best lap. Just to put it on a Delta perspective, but Delaney is flying here.
Yeah, Delaney is certainly a specialist at Bathurst. You might not see him be as quick at other tracks, but he certainly can get around Bathurst. He's probably done more laps around here than I've had hot dinners, I'll give you the tip.
Oh, I'll give you the hot tip.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
better. And we always like a Bathurst Sunday, especially when it's a Sunday night here at OK Racing. You've got everything here. We've got basically anything you want apart from real life stuff. You name it, we'll have it here at OK Racing. So
That's right.
can't wait for what the rest of the night entails us. And we've got a top 10 shootout too, Chris. I don't know if you mentioned that already.
I have mentioned that, but it's worth mentioning again to stick around to the viewers at home because top 10 shootout brings a lot of excitement, I think, to these series. Just want to
Absolutely.
Yeah, just want to maybe even some of the top guys, maybe in the top 5, are just maybe doing a few more little setup tweaks, using qualifying as a precursor to the I guess the big dance, the top 10 shootout where it all matters.
Absolutely. And speaking about all that matters, Delaney's just whacked in our first 201 of the night.
Here he goes.
201.886. That is a perler.
That's going to take some chasing down for sure. But as we said, this is not for pole position here. This is just to get into the top 10. So we might focus on Andrew Ferguson, who sits in 11th right now. So he might be on. He just wants to improve by... He's got, 4/10 to improve to get into that top 10 to knock Hawkins off.
Bit of traffic there for him. It gets out of the way nicely, but he's still 6/10 down. Unfortunately, 7/10. So maybe come back for the next lap, Fergo.
See how Dan Jankos is going. He's just finished his out lap, so this will be his first hot lap for this run, and he's got a fair toe in front of him as well. If he can sit in the slipstream of Matt Cotter, his teammate, so we've got a bit of F1 tactics here, a bit of toe going up the straight. Well done to Team Send and Defend Motorsport, absolutely using their brains there, and that was Cotter just giving Dan Jankos a toe up the mountain straight there. Great awareness by both drivers, and we've got a bit of server issues here. What's going on? We've seen Cotter and Jankos. Everyone just jumped out of the server for a second, but we're back. Seems like nothing too dangerous.
A little bit of lag on your end, my friend. It was perfectly fine on my end here, so all is well.
There we go. We're going to ride on board with Jankos here, trying to find his way into the top 10. Although he is a second down in the first sector, that's not going to help him at all. Who else we got? Lawrence Smith, Brody Sharp, all within that range. They only need to find a few tenths.
Yeah, what's the gap? We've only got 11th is 2.1 off, and between him and 16th is only 6/10 of a second for those boys, so bit of a battle for the second half of the grid they're going on to in qualifying, but fair ways to find to beat Hawkins' time if they want to get into the top 10.
Yep, about half a second-ish. But there goes Matt Cotter. He's going to give his teammate a tow here as well. It looks like they're going to set up for another lap. I like the team play here from Send and Defend Motorsport. I'm just gonna stick with Jankos here for a little bit and see if they do the same thing again. I've got a feeling they are. They're on the comms to each other in the team's channel. Matty Cotter might just want to hold off a little bit, or is he going to go ahead and maybe get that toe down Conrod, perhaps? Yeah, it looks like that's probably what they're going to be doing. So we can tune back in with that later on. Looking down the order here, who do we think is a dark horse for the top 10 shootout from 11th down?
Oh, I think Scotty Garrick should be the dark horse out of the round, to be truthful. That Volvo can be on song with him, so I'm going to pick him.
Yep, you reckon he can get himself into the top 10? I absolutely agree with you there. I think he might have found a bit of traffic on this first part of 3/4 of qualifying so far, with 3 minutes to go in the session. The boys want to start getting serious about getting rid of those sandbags and making their way into that top 10.
Oh, I think there's plenty of concrete around here. They don't have to worry about the sandbags. Just empty some concrete out into the Repco signage or whatever across the top of the mountain and help out the volunteers.
Yeah.
and get some pace going, I reckon.
Tell you what, you could scrape off a bit of paint around the lap and be a little bit lighter by the end as well.
Yeah, it's a very good point, the old aerodynamic trick.
Yeah, that's right. It could be, who was it? Williams F1 team, just going with the whole carbon fibre, trying to shed a bit of weight by the end.
That's
I don't
right.
know how much of a difference it makes in these big V8 supercars. They're pretty heavy anyway.
Absolutely. Now we're approaching the final 2 minutes, so not much time for most people if they're nowhere near the start at the moment to get 2 more laps in. They only have 1 more. And speaking of 1 more, Cotter is on the Delta by the look of it, is 4/10 up on his best time. So this could be close between himself and Delaney as he crosses the line in about 6 seconds.
As you can see on the bottom right-hand corner is his predicted time. At the moment, it is a 2:02 flat, and it's going to be a 2:02.1 in the end, which is an improvement, but it's not going to get him on the last roll of the dice for the top 10 shootout. But I think he's pretty safe.
So he's all done.
Yep.
Stephen Marsden is done. Walsh is done as well.
Scott Garrick has improved to a 2:03.7. He is now 1/10 off the top 10 shootout. We might, we're going to have to follow him around for this because he's on the Delta, bang on it.
He is.
He's bang on at 2:03.6 at the moment. So if he just can hold it together, he might be able to leapfrog Hawkins to have another crack to get a bit closer to the front for the start of this race.
Interesting. He's going over the grate now. The double left-hander, and he's still bang on with that Delta. There's nothing in it.
No. One good exit. One good exit, and he can make himself get back into that top 10 shootout.
He's a 10th up now as we're speaking. Come on, we're all with you here, Scotty.
No offense to Ryan Hawkins in front, but actually Hawkins has just improved his lap too. So Scotty Garrick's got to contend with a 2:03.443. So he's still got to make up another 10th. And he's just done that with that exit. So he's bang on par with Ryan Hawkins at the moment. This could be tight.
It's going to be very tight. And Shaggy Lawrence Smith as well is also basically exactly the same time as Scotty Garrick posted it as well. And he's 2/10 up as we speak, and 3/10 now. So this could be on. 3-way battle.
Poor old Hawkins has left himself too late. We'll see where he is after Garrick comes across the line. At the moment, he needs to make up some time in this final corner. The Delta's coming down. Is it going to be enough? It's going to be a 4. Oh. A 2:03.5 flat. That's not going to get him there. And I think that is his qualifying over. I don't know if that... Yeah, that is. Let's see where Lawrence Smith is. He's on par.
He just ran wide at Forest Elbow there.
So he's got 3/10 to make up.
He was half a second up before that lock-up. He'll be spewing in that cockpit right now.
Yeah, he'll be watching his Delta going, what if? See if I can make it up in the third section. You'll see him here brake as late as possible. He might even just send it a bit too deep. He does a little bit, but he gathers it up. I don't think he's going to make up 3/10 in the final corner. Unlucky Mr. Lawrence Smith. How Fergo's going? He is not going to make it either. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, we might have our top 10.
That is our top 10.
All done here. Madigan, he's finished. Bill 10K Kosmarikis is on for a 2:06, so he's done as well. Alex McEwen circulating. He is on a hot lap, so he might have been our last man across the line. And he's
half a second up.
He's gone purple in the first sector and 700s down in the second, so he's on here.
Could knock Cotter off for second here.
As he crosses the line, it is a 2:02.1. Jesus. The top 3 are close. There's a fair gap to fourth here with Stephen Marsden, 2:02.9. Richard King, 2:11, pulls it off. So we've had a few people leave the service. So Aussie Motorsport League in the chat. Where is Chris Munro? You are listening to his dulcet tones right now, my friend. So we introduce ourselves. My name is Chris Munro, and I'm joined by Zach O'Reilly in the commentary team this season for AK Racing. So you'll be listening to our voices, whether you like them or not. Here we are.
Just let us know in the feedback whether you'd rather us commentate or be on the racetrack, which one we're better at, and we'll take that on board for next season. Might see us here, might see us on track. Who knows?
That's right. We have the choice here, but that is qualifying done and dusted, so we're going to have a look at who made it into the top 10. There it is there, ladies and gents. James Delaney on top with a 2:01.8, the only man to dip into the 2:01 so far. Can he replicate it in the top 10 shootout? Who knows? Matt Cotter, second with a 2:02.1. He'll be pretty happy with that, but I know he can improve. As well as Alex McEwen, I think both of these guys can dip into the 2:01. So that battle for pole is going to be hot, hot, hot. Daniel Welsh picking up the pieces in fourth with a 2:02.7. Nick Mello fifth. Luke Newing, Stephen Marsden, Lachlan Grant, Harley Marshall. The two teammates are up in the top 10 there, Grant and Marshall, and Ryan Hawkins making out the top 10. So this is all happening.
Plenty going on. That top 10 shootout next, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be an absolute ball terror, so to speak. So stick around. We will be back with our top 10 shootout for the top 10 best drivers here today at Bathurst so far.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here now with the top 10 shootout. Just in time, we got Ryan Hawkins now starting his outlap, so I wonder how he's handling the nerves, Zach O'Reilly.
Well, depends on the driver. I get nervous just commentating and doing other stuff before I even sit in the car. So, first ever for Ryan Hawkins, top 10 shootout here at AK Racing. So, welcome, son. And it's going to be interesting. It's a beautiful looking Volvo, I must say. I've seen it a couple of times, the old Swedish Meatballs Racing Team Volvo. So get those tyres warmed up, Ryan, because you're going to need the maximum amount of grip as you possibly can for the next 8.5 kilometres by the time you set a time.
Yeah, absolutely. You wipe the sweat off the brow. This was always, I know from my racing career, the hardest part. Just getting around the outlap without the hands shaking too much and too much sweat getting in the eyes. Because I never had a good record in top 10 shootouts, I'll have to say.
I've never had a good record at this track, period, let alone a top 10 shootout. But did all right at Gold Coast. Managed to put that lap together and get pole. But I'm not the best at them either. But talk about life of the rich and the famous here. You with your VR headset, mate, just lightly plugging it in there. It's all right. Not all of us can afford VR headsets.
Oh, they're with this day and age, they're cheaper than a monitor. So you'd be better off with those.
They're also worse than a monitor. Some of them you might as well keep the bloody monitor.
That's right. Yeah. Once you've been in VR, I'll tell you what. There's no going back to the flat screens. Just getting that 3D immersion. There is nothing like it.
Yet to find out as we watch Ryan Hawkins literally keep warming those tyres up. So he is doing a lot of weaving here, more weaving than a sewing factory at the moment. So we'll see how he goes as we start the lap with Ryan Hawkins. Munro, call it away, son.
All right. As he just shoots his way down this pit straight, this is the most important part of the track here, and this can set you up for failure or for success, and it looks like he's done it pretty well. He's got his little Volvo shooting up this mountain straight with a fair bit of gusto. So he'll be now just thinking about the rest of the lap. Where am I going to brake for turn 2? Where am I going to turn in? I'm sure all these guys have done enough practice that it's all just second nature now as he turns it in, gets a really nice line through there, takes it just to the perfect amount of exit room there, not too close to the wall because you can really upset your car and make a mess of the whole thing. So he might just be, big slide too out of the cutting. He is on the limit, I tell you what. Some guys like to maybe tiptoe around a little bit just to get their bearings, but it looks like Ryan Hawkins is going absolutely balls to the wall at the moment. Oh, yeah, he certainly is. He's going right to the edge of the track. Look at that. That's an official bee's dick in between that Volvo and the wall there. And coming down to the technical part of the track now through the S's, hops a bit of the curb, hugs it nicely down into second, crosses it up, gets it down, a bit of front wheel left off the road there. Perfectly done. Tell you what, this is a very tidy lap from Ryan Hawkins so far. Can he get it shot down the hill with a bit of momentum right out to the wall? Well done, Ryan. Let's ride on board with him for the rest of the lap. We're going to sit on top of the number 90 Volvo for now. We'll listen to that V8 engine roar down Conrod Straight as he gets to about 270 by here. I think the guys are topping it out at about 298 k's an hour if you're going on a bit of a low downforce setup. I'm not sure what sort of downforce Ryan is running at the moment. It looks like it's a very stable car through the chase. He's going to be looking at the Delta. He'll be either smiling or he won't. But I tell you what, he's going to brake late for the Murray's Corner and he's going to get that turned in. Very nice apex on the power gently and crosses the line for a 2:02.8. That's pretty tidy, Zach O'Reilly.
Very, very nice lap. Yeah, hit every apex nearly, I would say. You can't fault that. That Volvo looks like it's going to be a pearler during the race. As Harley Marshall is also lining up for his lap. Very good effort by the team, by the two teammates here, Grant and Marshall. They're going to be on fire, I reckon, here today. Could be a dark horse for a podium or a win. As Harley will definitely be wanting to make the most of this qualifying session as he literally hangs it out wide. That wasn't the best exit out of Hell Corner, my old friend, but we'll see where his Delta sits as we ride on board throughout the lap. It's going to be interesting. I think this is going to be one of the closest qualifying top 10 shootouts we've had. That's my prediction already, Chris. So see where Harley ends up as he takes his time coming around both the corners, hangs it right out wide. That's a beautiful, beautiful looking livery there as he comes through the cutting. Up over the hill into Reed Park, the double right-hander. Third gear as you approach this section here where you try to run as wide as you can through over the wall there. It's absolutely fantastic. Suwon Parkle, the great, hang it out wide, fang it in there, tip it in early as you come through here in the right-hander over McPhillamy. Approach Skyline, nice wide line as he comes in, flicks that ZB across. Holy mackerel, that's just absolutely killer dilla. Stuff there as he's hugging every apex through the S's. Comes through into the dipper. Let's look at the wheel work here of him. That's just beautiful. A little bit of counter steer as we come in, nothing over the top. Second gear exit, beautiful as he nearly hits Dick Johnson's famous wall there as he comes out of the corner. Down onto Conrod. This is going to be a pretty good-looking lap if you ask me. Our Delta's just not working here at the moment, but if I can go off the body language here, this could be a little bit quicker than Hawkins, I would say, at this rate. But nonetheless, we'll find out as we come through the chase. Looking good as he exits wide through the last section underneath the AK Racing, which is a Dunlop thing in real life. Coming through into Murray's corner. Let's see how his exit is here. It's crucial. You can gain half a second through if you get it right. Beautifully rides the curb, crosses the line.
Oh, not much in it. Tell you
not
what.
Much in that.
Gee whiz. So now we get to watch his teammate have a little go. Lockie Grant's gonna just follow in the footsteps, see if we can get another 2028 happening as he crosses the line. His tyres will be nice and warm and ready for this lap, as I bet his whole body is probably nice and warm here on a beautiful day, on a Sunday afternoon here at Bathurst, and that looks like a pretty tidy exit too. He'll be pretty chuffed with that as we see. Looks like Marsden in the background there getting ready for his out lap, but it's all about Lockie Grant right now. We're going to jump on board and see how he handles this uphill section. Gets it tipped in quite nicely down to, I can't quite tell what gear he was in there. Goes down to second, doing the Scott McLaughlin technique there of a few years ago in the FGX Falcon when he was just absolutely unstoppable here on his top 10 shootout lap. I think he was one of the big counter steer moment there from Lockie, but gathered us up nicely. It wouldn't have cost him too much. Looks very, very settled through that section of the track here, down through the grate, and as you hear the engine, it's not. He didn't lift too much there, and here as well. Lockie hanging it right out onto the grass. Oh boy, and he's going to have to gather it up. He's not in an ideal spot coming down the S's, but he's got on the brakes nicely here. Chucks it into the left hand. That's very nice through there. Gee whiz, he's left nothing on the table here. With a couple of little mistakes, this could be close. It looks quicker than the other two, but then again, a couple of little mistakes might have cost him there coming around the sort of top half of that lap. As he settles in, he's got time now to wipe the sweat off and think about the third sector. Where are we going to break here for the chase? Do we need to try and take a bit of a chunk out? He'll be looking at his delta. He'll know whether he's up or down. And he just takes the conservative approach, about 175 metres out from the turn. Getting it turned in nicely, getting the power down nicely. Not even an ounce of wheel spin there on the exit of the chase. Down to Murray's. Takes it right out wide. I tell you, all these guys are absolutely on it. That looks perfect. It's going to be a 2:03.9, so he's lost a lot of time over the lap there somewhere. Zach O'Reilly, I don't know where that would have happened.
That was into the S's, Chris. He had to flick it back to first to gather it up.
Yeah.
As he ran wide across Skyline there, that would have hurt his tyre temps and a bit of debris on the tyres as he went across. So I'd say that's where it was through that section. As Marsden comes through now, runs it wide, just as we say, debris on the track. Stevens putting his own there and leaving his own tattoo on the Mount Panorama circuit. Not the best of starts to the lap. Let's see if he can gather it up as the lap goes on. Could be interesting. He was on in qualifying, in the main qualifying session, so he's got pace, and he definitely beat that time of 2:02.8, so it'll be very interesting to see where he does end up as this lap goes on. He ran very wide there coming out of turn 3. That was incredible sort of stuff there. I haven't seen anyone run that wide yet.
Lucky not to hit the wall there.
Sorry?
Lucky not to hit the wall there on the exit of 2, but he's gathered it up.
As he comes over into Griffins and into Reed Park as we come across the grate section. There was a grate there, not on this mod, but there is, and he's hanging it all out here. That Volvo is also looking very, very sticky on the track as we look through there. He's run wide just like Harley Marshall did as well, literally last section. So see if he can gather it up through here as well and make sure that car is tipped in nicely. Beautiful exit through there in the last section of the S's into the dipper, and now we come through into the Forest Elbow. Let's see what he does. Flicks it back to first. Tends to run it wide there in the exit. It's just very, very good, very clean. No sort of oversteer as he makes his way around that corner. Coming down Conrod, as you said, Chris, 298 kilometres an hour. That's moving. Don't want a kangaroo popping out of here at any stage at this track. Unfortunately, this doesn't happen in Assetto Corsa. That'd add to the realism factor, mind you.
Can you imagine we had kangaroos to deal with out here?
Wow, hopefully they would be movable objects, not immovable. As Marsden is coming through now, literally as he comes into Murray's corner. Nice exit, just rides the curve very easily as he comes over, and Marsden, unfortunately, 205.09. He won't be happy with that at all.
No, that's he can do a lot better than that. As our provisional pole sitter teammate now comes around for his turn at the hot lap. A little bit of understeer there on turn 1, but he's going to make his way up. I'm sure that Hawkins and Ewing are sharing setups in their team channels, and we might see this Volvo maybe challenge for the provisional pole spot by the end of this lap. But hang tight, everyone. That's about a minute and 40 away now. It looks very clean through there as we come up towards the cutting. This is a difficult part of the track, and certainly got enough front end to handle that. Look at that. That is absolutely no wheel spin there at all. This thing is on rails at the moment. Luke Newing and Ryan. Oh, is that a tap? I think there was a bit of contact there with the wall.
Making some love with the concrete as he makes his way across the top of the mountain here, that's for sure. But it's overall, it is looking like a very tidy lap.
Yeah, it hasn't affected the steering of the thing, so no steering damage there. So it's play on there for Luke Newing. He'd be throwing it down. Look at that. Absolutely no room for error here in the 94 Volvo. Getting a little bit squirrely under brakes, but that's probably a bit of overheating tyres towards the end of the lap here. They're certainly under a lot of stress, those rears, by the time they get to Forest Elbow. Shooting down the famous Conrod Straight for the last time, Luke Newing. He's going to be just thinking about it now. He's looking at his Delta. Probably be chatting to his, or maybe there wouldn't be any comms going on at this time. It's silence, and I'll leave it all to you, Mr. Luke Newing. He comes through the chase, looks just tidy lap, and you know what? It's usually the tidy laps that look the fastest. They don't look like they're going too quick. But we'll see what happens when he goes past the timing tower. He goes straight to the top with a 2:02.6. Well done.
Here we go. And now we've got another compatriot who's also very quick in Nick Mello. That VF is, if it's set up right, as we saw his teammate Alex McEwen at Adelaide last round, that thing can be a minute ahead by the end of a race. So let's see how Mello can go. Bit of my favourite soft spot car, the VF, the last of the Australian produced Holdens, so a little bit of a soft spot there for him. I reckon they're a good looking V8 supercar, and that is also complemented with the beautiful livery that we've got there for both the teammates, the ice coffee. I think is it ice break or what is it? I can't see it, Chris.
Farmers Union ice coffee.
Farmers Union, shit. So there you go, and it's looking beautiful as we come up across the mountain here. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up on this exit. A lot of different lines to take. He takes a little bit of the shallow line to use that exit speed as he comes up. Use the perfect run through the last sort of section of the uphill battle through Bathurst. Has he touched the wall there? No, not as wide as Newing was previous lap. It's looking very, very good though at this stage. As you said before, Chris, if it looks smooth and slow, it's generally quicker.
Yep, that's how you want to drive these things. you drive a fast car slowly, and that's the way to do it. If you drive a slow car fast, then you're doing well as well. So a wise man said that to me once. I'm pretty sure his name was Andrew Ferguson. But we don't see him in the top 10 shootout, so maybe the words aren't as wise as what I thought.
Don't never question the wise ability of the Mr. Fergo there. He's got a couple of good cars in real life. I can give you the hot tip. So let's give you a shout out, Fergo. We still love you, mate.
Yeah,
I do. I don't know about Chris. But,
he's not on the screen. We're still talking about it. Are we too? I'm pretty sure he encountered my brother and father over the weekend, working on his Volvo out the front for his young fella. So my brother goes, we should just drive past Fergo's place because he's always out the front. And he was.
There he was.
There he was. Nick Mello crossing the line with a 2:03 flat. That's going to put him in provisional 4th position. Who's going to come up and touch Luke Newing for the positional pole? Can it be this man, Daniel Walsh, in the 888 VF Commodore? We've got his livery in the server now, so that's good news. I don't know what's going on with AC tonight. We're missing liveries in some races, and then they come back again for the next. But that's a pretty tidy run up to turn 2 for Daniel Walsh. We're going to ride on board and listen to this superb V8. Just listen to it roar.
Using all of the revs possible out of that 5-litre V8 engine that they've got.
Oh, he's...
Beautiful slide there. The slides look good, but they're not the quickest way around, are they?
Certainly not, and that's going to hurt him for the rest of the lap too, because these tyres don't like to be slid. They don't like to be slid around too much. So they will overheat and lose a bit of grip. So you can see he's certainly just tippy-toeing his way around here a little bit. Walshy, I've seen him get closer to these walls in his time. Yeah, you can see there, he's leaving just a little bit on the exit. Just trying to cement his spot, maybe looking for a top 5 at the moment, not pushing too hard. Yeah, you've said that, mate. I've got the engine sounds as loud as I can probably get them without them drowning out our commentary. So yeah, just use your imagination, Parky. There are certainly engine sounds in the server. I don't know how to make them any louder. Maybe I could do this. There we go.
Go to the old master. There we
go. The old master volume. How's that?
Yeah, a bit better.
Bit better. There we go. So while she's going down Conrod Straight here, he's probably looking at a 2:03 at the moment. Yeah, the inside shots are generally a bit louder. Because you're just a bit closer to the engine. He can hear him fine. All right, the boys, they're backing me up in the chat here. Daniel Walsh rounding the final corner. Oh, goodness me. That's a 2:028. Second.
That's all right. Bit of tongue twisting here in AK Racing. That's fine.
It's all happening.
As we've got his fellow compatriot McEwen starting his lap, and very, very, very important to get this corner right. We haven't seen a lot of guys get it right in this top 10 shootouts, and that is no exception. That's a beautiful exit out of Hull Corner as we come up Mountain Straight with Alex. Check his wheel work as we climb up the mountain, just to see where he sits. If we can get that onboard shot at some point, looks very, very good. Nice clean exit out of Quarry Bend up into the cutting, and that's looking very pointy. Turn the wheel, and it's going there. Especially with the drive out, his short shifts into 3rd gear, holds it in 3rd as we come across the cutting, the Breed Park, and over the great, beautiful turn in, maybe just a little bit wide there on exit, but still holds it together, bangs it in the top of 4th gear over the top into Skyline. This is looking pretty quick and smooth.
Yeah, look at him slide it in there. That's top quality drive. Oh, look at this.
Wow.
That's got front end grip to burn here at the moment.
This thing's driving like a Formula 1 car. It is just hooked up better than Greg Murphy's car was, I'd say. With the lap of the gods, it is on fire. But this could all be wrong. We might be thinking it's quick, and he comes over and doesn't beat Newing's time of 2:026, but we'll find out in about 28 seconds.
Yeah, we're in the dark. We're in the dark thanks to Seto Course's timing system. It's going off his out lap, so it's saying he's predicted at an 18-minute lap. That's not going to be the case. It's going to be a 2:02 something. Whether it's going to be good enough for pole position or not, we will see in about 20 seconds.
We'll find out as the last corner into Murray's. Holds it in second. Very interesting. I do that a bit too. And where does this put it? Oh, yes, he's 2:02.
That.
2:02.2, ladies and gentlemen. That is nearly how you do a lap of Mount Panorama. As we've got plenty more talent here, especially in beautiful segue to Matt Cotter. He's just warming his brakes up into Murray's corner there. Going to see if he uses the extra wide line to get a perfect run onto pit straight. Yep, looking like that. And 21-minute laps, a bit cruisy around here, Chris.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. I've seen better.
Take the old Subaru Outback for a 21-minute lap around Bathurst. That'll be
especially at 40 kilometres an hour or 60 kilometres an hour as it is during non-racing events. So.
It's not too backed up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Very good, very good. This is going to be interesting. Hot battle between these two. My goodness, it was on at the front in our main qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Cotter, Alex McEwen and James Delaney were just flying. So we've got the cream of the crop here for our last three in this top 10 shootout, and it's looking pretty good so far for Cotter. Can't spot any errors so far by our race cams, and he's flinging it out wide. That is absolutely classic Cotter. In
true Cotter fashion there, yeah, absolutely.
Never a dull moment on board with Matthew as he drives these V8s. He loves his ZB too, which is good to see. And we'll see what happens over a Skyline here. See a bit of sliding action. Holy mackerel, he's somehow held it together and still keeps it tight to those walls. I don't know how he does it. I've got no idea. Very slidey as he comes out there. Jeez Louise. It is all happening here. Find out how he gets through Forest Elbow. Yep. He holds it in second, so I reckon he's on here. If you hold it in second and he can get through, you've got plenty of mid-apex speed. So very, very close, I would say, this lap at this point, Chris.
Yeah, he's got it absolutely on the edge of grip, and both on the entry and exit. So this is going to be, I reckon he's pushing hard. But I tell you what, a 2:02.2 from Alex McEwen is going to take some beating. I'll tell you what, but there's probably only two blokes that can do it, and that's Cotter and Delaney, and they're still to come. So we're going to find out once he gets it. I'll tell you what, I think he might have made just a couple more mistakes than he would have liked in that lap, and that is a 2:02.7. That is provisionally third for Matt Cotter. Now our pole man, James Delaney, has taken his time on that outlap. He's trying to maybe not overuse the tyres. On that outlap. He wants to get them nice and warm, but doesn't want to start ripping into them too much until it's business time. Speaking of which, it is business time now as he crosses the line for his hot lap. Our pole sitter from qualifying and the last man out on track for this top 10 shootout. Let's see how he attacks this mountain. As he heads out up the mountain straight. Looked like a pretty tidy exit from Hell Corner.
Absolutely, and you said people were having nerves at the start of this season. James would be absolutely shitting himself right now with the nerves kicking in. Top of the charts, got to back it up here in the top 10 shootout, take his time. Sometimes the more you think about it as you go around the track, the worse your lap's going to be. I'd prefer to just get on with it, and whatever happens, happens. But it's looking very good here from James Delaney. The car behaviour is excellent, just on the point of oversteer, but still driving it beautifully out of the corner. You can see there. Very big slide by James. Oh, that's going to hurt.
That was a massive slide. I don't know how close he got to the wall there on the exit of Sulman, but oh my goodness. He's definitely pushing for the provisional pole here of a 2:02.2 by Alex McEwen. I tell you what, he's certainly over. He's driving the wheels off this thing at the moment, trying to get there.
I'll tell you what, there won't be much left on that rubber compound by the time he's finished this lap, as he slides it in full tail action as we get into Forest Elbow. Down Conrod straight. It's going to be a bit down on his delta. That's not the ideal way, unfortunately. No. It could be good. He might only be 3/10 down after all of that, so he could still slot into the top three. But it's a long race. mind
It is
you,
a
ladies
long
and
race.
gentlemen.
It's not all decided in qualifying. I know we get a bit caught up because we're in the moment here in the top 10 shootout, but I'll tell you what, a front row he'd be happy with, even a second or third row at this time. But we've seen James Delaney over the season. His race pace isn't quite as good as his qualifying, so we're going to see what he does here. I think he might not be on for a pole. That is a front row, but still 3/10 clear. Yep. So he will start outside of Alex McEwen with Newing and Walsh, his teammate, sitting in just behind him. Hawkins and Mello off the next row. Cotter and Marsden. Grant and Marshall making up the 5th row of that grid. And I'll tell you what, the times are so close. This is going to be unreal.
Look at that. Look at that. Not even, what is it? Not even 3, no, hang on, sorry. Our timing tower's done a bit of a doozy there. But geez, yeah, 202s all around until you get back to 8th. So this is just going to be very, very, very tight on the old soft tyres as we go around for 2 hours around the circuit.
2 hours. I'll tell you what, it's time for everyone at home to go and get a refill. Go to the bathroom. Do what you need to do. Maybe a cup of tea. What do you reckon? It's Sunday night. It's getting late.
I reckon a nice bit of sherry or a bit of cognac, as they say.
Bit of cognac. We're a classy bunch here at AK Racing, so we only the top shelf for us. But,
top shelf is in $20 budget per wine bottle, so
hey, that's a good bottle in my house. But we're going to be back. We're going to be back in a very short couple of minutes for our feature race of the night, a 2-hour slug around Mount Panorama. Do not go anywhere because we will be back soon. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Just waiting for the server to kick over. Got a few little back-end issues to sort out because of the top 10 shootout. Just got to get those things sorted out, and we'll be with you with our feature race of this evening. But Aussie Motorsport League in the chat said, my wife is agreeing with you guys. She wants a Bailey's with coffee. That's a pretty... Yeah, a bit of class there, absolutely. Bailey's and coffee. Oh, maybe it's what do you reckon? Is it a Farmers Unionised coffee?
Or it might be. It could be a break.
Could be a
breaker
nice,
or whatever.
Nice break. We got Dare Ice Coffee, Big M. There's so many competitors in the iced coffee industry right now.
More competitors in Bathurst at the moment. This is unreal.
Tell you what, we
stuff out as we go.
Yeah, we could have our own iced coffee 1000 at the end of the year, where each car is sponsored by a different milk brand. Who will reign supreme? Who's got the most caffeine? Who knows?
Who's got the most caffeine? Where's the beans come from? The Australian beans? Overseas beans?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Colombian beans?
Colombian beans, absolutely.
Yeah, they'll be up near the start.
Oh, they won't be up near the start. They'll just keep lapping even though the race is finished.
Yeah.
I don't even know when to go.
Is it a 24-hour race or what?
Yeah, 48 if you really got the good stuff.
I tell you what. Straight from Pablo.
And El Chapo will be there in the crowd. He'll be looking.
Yeah, absolutely. Normal coffee, says Aussie Motorsport League. Well, what's normal anymore? It's 2023, mate. There is no such thing as normal.
If he's not from Melbourne, he doesn't know what a normal coffee. That doesn't exist here in Melbourne.
No, what's
king of coffees, I would say, in Australia, the Melbourne coffee scene.
Yeah, long black, the nose beads. Very good. Very good. Long Power chiming in with that one. Okay, we got our race server up, so we're gonna try and join that. We're gonna
if you can, not a sexual remark, turn me on so I can have a look at what's going on.
You want to have a look? I will show you what I have, my friend. There you go. Get an eyeful of that.
Whoa. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you could see what I'm seeing right now, you can do exactly on YouTube. My friends, tune in as we come through. Looks like we've got a bit of an error here.
Yeah, we've got unexpected error here from Assetto Corsa. TCP buffer out of energy. All right. So, stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. As I thought there might have been a bit of a drama here. We're just going to try load in again and see what happens. I wonder if the drivers are having the same problem.
Looks like there's 30 in the server, so maybe not.
Maybe it's just on my end, but we'll try again and see what happens. We've got Lucas Newing in the Discord bragging about using 5 wing. So he's on the lowest downforce setting in that Volvo. So that's something. He'll definitely have some straight line pace when we get out on track.
It'll be interesting to see how much earlier, he actually gets to that top speed in comparison to the other drivers, or if there's no real difference, but it just eliminates the chance of a run halfway down the straight with that extra pull, which for the drivers behind they want is a suck. So if you're in front, you're pulling. If you're behind, you're wanting the suck. So maybe the 5 wing is a secret there.
Well, there you go with all that sort of language. I'm glad it's 7:53. We're into M15 plus territory now. All the kiddies are in bed. We can talk about the pulling and the sucking. We got 2 minutes to go to the race countdown.
You get it all here, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Innuendos, gross exaggerations, you name it, we've got it.
And below average commentary, but stick around for more of that. We got 2 minutes to go, and then we got 2 hours of this. Aussie Motorsport League comes from Perth. I think that's
bloody hell.
That's Johnny B's. What time's it there? You kids are still awake, mate. You better put the old put the earmuffs on them. Yeah, put the earmuffs on for those guys. Might have a little trip down. Let's go for a little trip down the starting grid and see if everyone's got the livery. We got the boys there. Walsh, we're missing again. That's unfortunate for you. Mello, we're missing as well. Both the Nissans. Tell you what, we're going to have to get this sorted out for the next round. It's really disappointing. Look, yeah, a lot of white cars. So it wasn't like this last week. That's what happens when you get Maffey to set up the servers. Shit like this goes wrong, and we got all the 4 safety cars. Look at that. That's a sight to behold. As we'll make our way back up the front. Right there. Who do we think in chat's going to get the whole shot here? We've got Alex McEwen off the inside, so it'll be hard to go past. James Delaney, we'll have a look at the tyre choice. Both the front row are on the super softs. Matt Cotter on the super softs. Luke Newing on the soft, and Walsh and the rest of the field. Oh, until we get to about the 11th position, and those guys are on supers as well. This is going to be very interesting. Do you want to take?
Absolutely.
Yeah, who's going to do the start? Do you want to do the start, Zachary?
Oh, okay. I'm getting excited now. Just as a side note to our viewers as well, there is a mandatory compound change. So it's written into the rules of the law. So that's why we've got different compounds. So people are probably negating it out of their strategy already, and others are just enjoying it as we have 6 lights up, not 5 as Murray Walker says. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 light, 5 lights, 6 lights. And we are go here for 2 hours at Mount Panorama, and looks like McEwen's definitely got the jump. Walsh has had a horrible start here. Cotter's just gone bang. Thank you very much, Mother, for the rabbits. I'm coming through. And he is just flew through the field, and we've got some cars going wide here. Watch out. Heroics at turn 1, ladies and gentlemen. I can't see what's going on here. We've got cars going left and right. VF's off the track. It's all happening in the midfield. It looks like Newing has dropped some positions. It's all seemed to have sorted itself out now at the moment. It's got 3 wide coming in, but Cotto is already under pressure from Alex. He is all over him like a fly to a piece of poo. It's only lap 1, boys. It's got another hour and 59 minutes to go. So plenty of time to settle down here as we make our way through the top half of the mountain, Chris.
Yeah, great start from Matt Cotter. He has jumped up 2 positions to take the lead of this race, and we're going to watch the field stream through here at Sulman Park as we see Delaney, Hawkins, Walsh, Newing, Marshall, Garrick, Marsden, O'Connor, Smith, Jenkos, Grant. Oh, what a huge field. Ferguson, Sharp, Pearce, Fazari, Duff, Albertsma down in 19th position. John Madigan, we're going to catch up with the lead now as Alex McEwen is not going to let Matt Cotter get away with this sort of robbery in the first lap that he's done here to take the lead of the race. There's a big gap now to Delaney in third. A bit of jostling for position here. Is that Stephen Marsden? He's around.
Not the best time to do 360s at the moment. It's this early on in the race. Steve, he'll be shattered. I wonder what his car's looking like on the inside, if there's any steering damage or if it's just aero. Be very interesting to see. I know it's pointing relatively straight. Maybe he's got away with some physics rework there. We've got a Nissan going wide there. Holy mackerel, that's not the place to be, boys.
That Shaggy is off the track and he is having some problems. I think he's got some steering damage that he does, so he's going to have to hit the pits early. That's unfortunate for him. McEwen's still right up in the back of Cotter for the lead, and look at the gap they've pulled out to James Delaney here. And fair enough too, because those top 2 guys are on the super softs, and then followed by 4 soft runners, and this is the next guy in line on the super softs, so he's going to make up some ground on Luke Newing, you would hope to believe. Let's have a look down the back here. Brody Sharp in the Nissan Altima is right up behind Andrew Ferguson. So Fergo just struggling on those super softs for the moment.
It doesn't look like they're making the progress that they need to. The old supers in the midfield here, but a lot of battling. So tyres can heat up when you're behind someone trying to pass them if you overwork those tyres. So yeah, only good in clear air, I would say, not in traffic.
Bit of jostling for position down the order here as Jacob Albertsma, first time I've seen him back in the server this season, is heading up on the outside of Bill 10K Man Cosmerikas, the nicest man in sim racing that I've ever met. Here he gets that job done into turn 2, and he will set off after Cam Waters up ahead. Clayton Waters. I see C Waters in the Monster Mustang, and my brain just goes straight to Cam Waters. Very good. As we see Harley Marshall now making some moves and putting our man O'Connor under a fair bit of pressure here, coming down through the S's.
Looking very good, Harley Marshall at the moment. He'll just want to sit back and enjoy the show behind him and let the carnage behind him, in front of him, take over. And looks like that's exactly happening there with that FGX going wide of O'Connor, but somehow gathers it up. We'll be looking for that suck as we were talking about earlier down the straight, and I think O'Connor's missed a gear there.
He has.
Looks like he has. He's completely missed a gear, and that gives Harley Marshall 8th position. Thank you very much. Doesn't get much easier than that. Miss a gear down the straight. Thank you. As we've got that battle's heating up behind. Fergo is also now got past O'Connor. Jenkos will be wanting a piece of the action. I can give you the mail. But
Jenkos just having a little look up the inside there, and doesn't quite get the job done. O'Connor's shutting that door quickly. Whoa! But he's had a shocking exit there, and that'll give all the encouragement. Looks like O'Connor's coming in for an early pit stop, and that'll release these two guys. A bit of smoke coming out of the tyres from Jenkos there. And I'll tell you what, these guys are enjoying this race so far as much as you're enjoying those nachos there, Mr. O'Reilly.
Yeah, apologies there. I couldn't help it. I just had to get the last bite in. Bit hungry here at AK Racing, but Scotty Garrick is now up the inside on a run on Luke Newing. So I wonder if this is just a bit of a battle of Volvos or just friendly gentlemanship saying, no, that's all right, I'll go for it. We've got another hour and 55 minutes to go. So just do whatever you want, my friend.
Yeah, you don't want to get too involved in shenanigans at this time of the race. As you said, if you can get into some clear air and just get yourself settled in, get yourself set, and just drive to a number.
Especially as I just missed that Garrick is on the super soft, so that would explain some of the newfound pace.
Yeah,
He wanted to make most of that and approach Daniel Walsh as quickly as possible, because when him and Hawkins are battling away, as we can see, it's just going to slow them down. Something chronic, and Garrick will be all over him soon.
Walsh is just going a little bit deep into the dipper there, so that has made that gap at almost about 8/10 now. So he's got a little bit of work to do, catch up to the back of Ryan Hawkins, but he has got a little battle on his hands in front with Delaney as well. So those guys are now, that little battle group of 3 cars are now 6.5 seconds behind the front two. And just looking as well, Cotter's gapped McEwen out to 2 seconds. So Cotter is flying at the moment. Looking down the field, Lockie Grant just putting Jenkos under a bit of pressure to get into the top 10.
Looks like it there too, and it's going to be a bit of a battle from that far back. Yeah, I wouldn't think he'd do that unless, Jenkos has been very kind there, leaving the door open, but Lockie doesn't think anything of it and just says, keep going, sir. As Matt Potter just posted 2:03.4. That is quick if he's on super softs and full tank of fuel. That is very quick, because if you work out a number of your fuel usage here, ladies and gentlemen, a tyre swap is about 25 litres in fuel that can enter by the time the tyres are swapped, so you don't have to stop as long. So I'm assuming that they probably would be on nearer to a full tank of fuel there, Chris, and that's bloody moving by any stretch.
Yeah, you'd expect most of the guys probably start off with a full tank. Walsh right up behind his teammate, so he's gotten around Garrick and is now pressuring Delaney, but Delaney just going defensive there into turn 2 and just keeping Walsh at bay for the time being. There's certainly no team orders in Delta Racing. Those guys are going to go balls to the wall. They're going to bat that out by the looks of it.
But they'll be very cautious of Garrick behind him approaching. I'm sure they're on the radio to each other, asking, is he on Buddy Supers or what? Why is he catching me so quick? You never know what happens in the radio. I'm just assuming. But,
well, I'd be all over it. There'd be at least one of the guys with the apps open to tell you who's on what tyre. Well, I personally don't run any of that, so I'm always on the blower to my teammate. Who is on what? Is he on supers or what? Why is he catching? So I'd imagine that's what's happening here with Walsh and Delaney. But yeah, Delaney he's just battling it out as Scotty Garrick just nails the wall there on the exit of Forest Elbow. We're going to just go on the fateful Yeah, a fateful ride on Cam, and we hope there's no damage to Scotty Garrick right now. No, he's sweet. Just a bit of aero, and I'll tell you what, an hour and 51 with a bit of aero damage, that's doable. You just don't want to be hitting that wall too often.
No, especially with the front splitter. If you knock that front splitter off, it's understeer city inside of V8 Supercars, so keep going. And Matt Cotter just posted another fastest lap. He's just cruise control at the moment. Mine's another over a half a second quicker than Alex McEwen.
Gee whiz, just on that lap, that is, he means business today, Matt Cotter, starting off the second row, or third row, was it?
I think it was the second row.
Second row, and he made his way up to first position by turn 2, so he is absolutely on a warpath here. Looking back through the field, Garrick still, after that hit, hasn't affected his pace too much. He's given Luke Newing a bit of a hurry up here in the two Volvos heading up Mountain Straight. See, Newing thinking about going defensive, but I tell you what, we've talked about this before. In a long race, there really is no point going defensive this early. If someone's got the pace on you, you're better off just letting them go. Don't defend, but don't. Just stick to your racing line. As we see, Angus Wells going very slowly up through the cutting. That's a terrible place to be going slow. Oh, he's going to come up across some other cars here at the moment. Jenkos, Marsden, they're all going to get past, hopefully. We've lost Wells there. We don't know where he's gone. He might have... oh, no, there he is off the track. Doing his best to get out of the way of some of these quick guys on the lead lap. It's probably one of the hardest circuits to be a blue flag at, to be fair. Nick Mello is down in 18th place. Did we see what happened to him? How did he get that far down?
I've completely missed that. I will get back to you, ladies and gentlemen. You keep talking, Chris. I'll find out exactly what's happened there.
Yeah, we're gonna follow Nick Mello around because he was in the top 5 to start this race. Obviously, coming a bit of a gutser, or he is on the super, so maybe he started off and has made his pit stop already. It's hard to say. Sorry, Matthew Richards. I had to blame it on someone. But I've got more white cars here than the car park at the airport at the moment.
You and me both, my friend.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So you got white cars as well, O'Reilly. Something's going on.
I do.
Yeah, on the service side of things. But Nick Mello is going to try and get past Bill's 10K. He's making an argument out of it. He can't argue any longer because Nick Mello has made that position stick. So he's got another 2 seconds up the road to Cooper Shipley, and Angus Wells is in the thick of it at the moment, just copping blue flag after blue flag. So he's doing his best out there for the time being. We're going to look up and down the order here. Ryan Hawkins has made his way up to third position. Tell you what, this is a great start from our man Ryan. He's been absolutely on fire in the other series that we run here at AK Racing, Wednesday Cup and Aussie Race Cars. And I knew it would only be a matter of time before he got up to speed in the V8s as well. So he's looking very tidy at the moment for a top 3 finish. But mate, still an hour and 48 to go. Anything can happen. And
anything can.
Tell you what, the server is on full damage as well. So one wrong move, and you're going to have to head back to the pits to get your mechanics to work on the car to get it back to roadworthy conditions. Who's another man to watch? Jacob Albertsma. He's back in the server. Saw him feature 2 seasons ago. So that would have been season 8.
8, yes.
Yeah, he was one of the guys to beat in the end. Put in a lot of practice, and he's jumped in tonight at the very last minute. So he's good to see him back in the server. To be fair, we'll see if he continues to improve this race. I'm sure he will. It's just like riding a bike. Oh, that is a car rolling. Who is that? That's
Who
Cooper
is
Shipley.
that? That looks like Clayton Water. Is that Cooper Shipley? I think it is.
That's Shipley, and he's cooked. I reckon his car's done for. He's going to have to... he's in a terrible spot.
This is a shocking spot. There'll be yellow flags called here at the moment.
This might even be a safety car. If he can't
he's got it going.
He's got it going. All right, let's... Oh, that's some bad damage on that VF Commodore. Needs some work. Look at the back bars just hanging off hanging off that. Oh my goodness. That is the biggest stack I've ever seen. He rolled it about 3 times.
He did.
That's
he
unreal.
did. That was incredible. That was incredible.
Talk about Bertsma off the road as well.
Oh, it's all happening, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all happening here. Jenkos now. Our tightest battle that I can see. He's got Andrew Ferguson in his sights. So he's looking at the rear of that Volvo, and he's getting a little bit excited, I'm sure, because they're both on super soft. So whoever treats their tyres the best from here out might just have a little bit of an advantage. But I tell you what, pitting now would be... Ooh, I don't know. You're going to be back in the pack.
A bit early to pit. I wonder if I can't follow up. Sorry, on what happened to our friend Nick Mello.
Right.
But he is on the soft tyre now, so he's done 6 laps. It looks like he hasn't got any damage from what I can see on the body. So maybe an early pit. Maybe just get out of the traffic and get some clean air, because he's got exactly that right now.
Yeah, maybe. So you see, there's a bit of a 4-way battle right here for me. I'm going to ride on board with Grant through the front window here. I think that might be a lap car. Is one of the Mustangs, but he's got Jenkos and Fergo just battling it out in front. Fergo going half defensive, but then getting back onto the racing line. Yeah, the times are... Look, well, we got Alex's dad in the chat. It's good to have you back, Mr. McEwen. The times are starting to drop for the leaders, so I'd say the supers are starting to go. We're going to just check in on what Cotter's last lap was a 2:04.7, and we'll check on Alex's was a 2:07.0. So he might have actually made a bit of a mistake on that last lap, because that is about 3 seconds slower than what his counterpart is doing up front, and the gap's now at 10 seconds.
As you can see, it is nearly 10 seconds. As we look back at the battle between Fergo and Jenkos, and that is heating up. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, a bit of contact with Fergo. He's run wide. Oh, no, you'll be spewing. Don't worry, Fergo. It's nearly an hour and 45 to go, son.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. Marshall's right up behind him now. Yeah, about 5 or 6 laps for the supers, and then you start to enter a bit of the danger zone when they completely fall off the cliff. So it takes a lot of driver skill to go past those 6 laps. That 6 lap mark on the super softs. Tell you what, this is one of those times I'm happy to be in the commentary box.
Oh, me and you both, my friend, because you're looking at literally at the deltas at the moment there. I mean, Cotter is 1.1 seconds slower than his best lap now, and Alex is 2.1 seconds slower, worse off than his fastest lap. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
So these are starting to fall off, and we're about to complete the 7th lap here. So interesting to see what they do. Mind you, with the soft runners, by the looks of things, they are only lapping in the 2:05 range, like the high 2:05s. So.
Okay.
Plenty of time left. As long as you keep within that delta and the tyres aren't dead, you might as well just keep going.
Yeah, that's right. It'll probably be maybe a couple more laps before they start to be overtaken by the soft runners in lap times anyway. So we look at...
As Alex McEwen has pitted as well too. He's just topped in.
Here we go. So that's lap 8. And he is in the pits now. So it'll be interesting. We're just going to chill here and see where he comes out. Might be behind Fergus, might be behind Pierce actually. So Pierce is coming around the final corner now. Alex is moving. And he's out of the pit, so he's going to come in front just of John Madigan. Down in 10th place, so that's not too bad, but I'll tell you what, Alex has got a little bit of traffic to deal with. But if I know Alex McEwen, he's one of the smartest drivers on this grid. He will have done all the maths, he will have done all the sums, and he will know that was the perfect time to pit, and he will jump onto these this new set of softs and hopefully do a bit of an undercut on Matt Cotter. Although he did have 9 seconds to make up, so we're going to just see what the gap is when Cotter finally comes in.
It'll be interesting to see we don't know the fuel numbers here, ladies and gentlemen, of how much fuel we've taken on board. So don't call us Crompo and Scafey at any rate. Or buddy, what's Mark Larko either. We're not that clever.
We don't have Larko in the pits for us, just spying on the teams, watching the fuel flow. No, we do not have that.
It is great. From my calculations, Alex is. He looks like he is 28 or 29 seconds off his own delta time, which would indicate that you lose about 26 seconds in the pits. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes in once Matt Cotter decides to pit. Mind you, they're both actually very, very quick drivers, but depending on who has less fuel or more fuel on board will also be another factor too, because time in the pits is very precious for track time. Might be half a second longer and that car can be 400 metres, 300 metres up the road by the time you get up to speed.
Yep. You can have maybe 6 or 7 cars in between you too in that time, and that makes a big difference in the end. Trying to get around lap traffic, even though we do follow the blue flag rules around here, it does take the sting out of your lap times having to get past these guys in your laps. Jenkos now pitting.
Jenkos is in.
As we saw a change for the second spot on the podium here, Delaney has gone past Hawkins in that lap just previous. So I think Hawkins was in front.
Hawkins ran a bit wide.
Yeah,
just having a squizzo. Yeah. It just ran a bit wide, and Delaney was literally like a great white shark to a piece of meat in the ocean, and just came in for the kill and took over. So see how we go here for the both of them. But mind you, the last lap on for both of them was exactly the same time, a 2:05.8 versus a 2:05.9. So even though the paths have gone between them both, no love lost.
Yeah, nothing between them at the moment. Well, these two are getting a bit friendly as well, Walshy and Newing. I'm just going to look back in the field because there's still this bit of a three-way battle here between McEwen coming up behind Grant and Ferguson. So this is very vital to McEwen's race right now. He's going to want to try and get past these guys as quickly as possible. He's certainly got the pace on him, but pace isn't going to do it alone. With Grant just smashing the wall there, that might give Alex a bit more encouragement.
I think Grant there has just hit the wall 3 times in one corner.
Yeah, I think he's got big damage.
He is.
That's left hand down.
Yeah, very left hand down there, boys. That's going to be expensive time-wise in the pits there to fix that.
Gonna have to get
As
that.
Matt Cotter has also just pitted too, just FYI.
All right, this is where it's at now. This is what I've been training for, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go get my little camera up here so we can just sort of watch. Oh, sorry everyone.
Just watch the kangaroos in the background.
So here goes Delaney. There goes Newing. There goes Walsh.
Cotter is still stationary here, ladies and gentlemen. He has not moved, so I reckon he's done the old low fuel.
Yeah, this Harley Marshall. Here's Alex McEwen now, and it looks like Alex McEwen is going to get that. He's going to get that the position back.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, look at this. We're going to ride on board. He's going to have hot tyres here. He's going to absolutely send it up the inside. Matt Cotter is going to be aware of it, and he's going to go defensive, but I don't think there's going to be too much he can do about this.
This will be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your cuppers, because this could get spicy again.
Yeah, Alex right up under the rear wing now.
This is incredible racing.
Yeah, he's going to send it around the outside.
See how they do it.
Yep, straight up the inside. Well done, Alex. Perfect move there. Just bided his time, and those hot tyres have come through. And he's made up 9 seconds in the pit stop. That is absolutely brilliant strategy there from Alex McEwen. Takes the net lead of the race.
Now, this could be interesting too. I'm sort of predicting the future here. If this goes smoothly between the two of them, this could be the last sort of stint back and forth. If they're on this effectively the same strategy, but 3 laps, 4 laps earlier than each other, this could be on like Donkey Kong in a couple of hours, in an hour and a half time.
Yeah, that must have been a cracking stop from Alex, because he's made up 9 seconds in that exchange. Or now 11, because he's 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds clear. There's a Mustang around at the exit of. Oh, Jesus! I thought he was just going to take out Cotter there. Well done to whoever that was.
I will tell you who that was. That would have been...
Might have been one of the newcomers in the...
That was Josh Smith.
There we go.
He's still there.
Yep,
He's still trying to make his way around, and he
Daniel,
looks like he's got some severe damage.
Daniel Walsh making it difficult for McEwen at the moment. He's on the old set of softs, so there's probably not too much point in him arguing the point at this stage of the race. But he is only a young buck. He's only 16 years old, so he gets a free pass for that kind of behaviour. But look at Matt Cotter. He's just taking advantage of this, and he's going to send it up the inside. 3 wide into turn 1. Oh! I'll tell you what, Daniel Walsh owes Cotter a beer right now, and Alex McEwen probably he owes Alex an apology, to be fair. He's defending for his life. They're on different strategies. These guys are not racing each other, or they shouldn't be anyway. But Daniel Walsh, the red mist has descended, and he's just cut that lead from Alex McEwen. There was going to be some words behind the sheds after the race, I believe.
That might be the old yelling out to the stewards in Mumble at the moment.
I mean, he's perfectly within his right, as they are on the same lap, but Walsh would have known that these two guys have pitted and they are effectively the race leaders. Just a bit of...
Nonetheless, he's in front of them both at the moment.
There you go.
See if we can hold his own as he comes across over Skyline into the S's. He's hanging it. He's run wide here. That's going to give Cotter a very, very quick run, and he's giving him a tap too, Matt Cotter. Yeah. He said, mate, none of that shit anymore. We're on here. Get out of our way. We've got fresher tyres. We are in a superior Commodore.
Yeah, we're in the battle for the lead too, mind you. He's got Alex McEwen behind him.
He'll get the pull down the straight here, as Cotter just looks like he's going to sail past him down the inside.
Well, we've seen the last couple of laps. Walsh won't give this in. He'll probably send it up the inside again, as he does.
And he's doing that now.
He's done that. Yep. That's frustrating for these drivers. Cotter gets around finally. McEwen going to try and take a piece of the pie, but I mean, what are you doing, Walsh? If you can hear me, you're just hurting your own race right now. You're battling with guys that are not in your race.
Especially with the tyre temperatures.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, better off letting them go. Letting them go and sit in that slipstream, as it's a long race, and every time you go around and you're a couple of seconds down because you're battling, it's hurting your overall race. But that's something to learn.
Yeah, we all learn, and we all live and we learn. That's the main thing too. And you don't want to get the tyres too hot. These soft compounds, which, by the way, every single person in the field is now on, apart from Caleb O'Connor and Madigan. They do not like getting hot. These tyres will absolutely fall off a cliff if you get them too hot, so sliding them around like that won't do them any good for the lap or the rest of the laps as well, as he keeps doing so. I'm just watching his car behaviour here, Chris, and it looks very, very slippy. Some people would say it's slipperier than an Eskimo in Antarctica with no ice skates, but you just never know. You just never know. But it looks like that from this outboard angle here that I'm watching at any rate.
Yeah, one of your best there, but poor old Alex would be getting very frustrated at this time. He's just watching Cotter just gap off into the distance after perhaps even short fueling in that stop he came in for. Maybe just to try and get a bit of track position. 9 seconds is a huge undercut in, I think it was only 2 laps that he was out shorter for Cotter. So he'll be getting very frustrated at this point. You might even see maybe a little bit of an assertive move here at the end of the straight. If anyone wants to bet on that. It looks like Walsh is running a low downforce setting. You can see him just stretching that gap at the end of the straight.
He definitely loves a low wing setup. I've heard he prefers it that way. Does a bit of a Cotter style driving technique too. Likes to have the rear end a bit slippy everywhere.
Yep.
So I don't really put that past him. Who was that? That was just past. Was that? No, that wasn't Cotter. Oh, sorry, false alarm, everyone.
That's a blue flag.
Alex McEwen is now right up the bum of him.
He's gonna
and he's gonna go for no. He won't. He won't send it.
No, He's thinking about it. He's going to get the perfect exit out of this, get the toe, and just send it into turn 2 because he doesn't want to go too early. You don't want to send it into turn 1 because you can compromise your run up the straight. But it looks like that VF Commodore Daniel Walsh is very low downforce. It's slippery in a straight line, that is for sure. Even with the great exit that McEwen had, he was having trouble to just keep up, let alone overtake in that mountain straight there.
Mind you, the lap times between Walsh and Cotter and McEwen are very similar. So that gap might look like it's a little bit bigger, but their last laps were pretty similar. Overall, they're all within the 203 sort of realm, mid to high. So yeah, but again, very frustrating for Alex.
It's still very quick. He's just watching Cotter walk away. At this stage, he's now got that gap out to 3.7 seconds. And Alex, very sensible driver. He won't just go for the send because it's a bit risky at this stage of the race with an hour and a half to go. He knows if he can do a good pit stop again, and there's a chance of a 9-second undercut. But I'll tell you what, Walshy, I'm pretty sure he started on the softs, did he? He did. So he's on the original set of tyres. So we might see those just start to drop off now. Half an hour into the race. That's what, roughly 15 laps. I think we're on 13 now. This will be the 13th
13
lap.
laps now. Yep. And you get about 18 out of a tank. So if he's just doing the whole tank and do the tyres at the same time to the end of each stint, might be a bit of a toil to get past him here. A long wait for Alex to make the move.
I think it's coming soon. You can see he's right up under the rear wing now and putting Walsh under all sorts of pressure, filling the mirrors, as his dad says in the comments. And this is it, a big send there, and Walsh just takes the wide line. Has got a bit of an apex allergy there in turn 1, but you can see the straight line pace of that VF Commodore of Walshy. You just can't get close to him on this straight. He's tried to set it up now 2 laps in a row, and it's just not going to happen for him. So I think maybe he's going to try and sort it out where he got Cotter in that first lap when Cotter came out. He can get this wide line and send it up the inside towards the cutting. That's probably his best bet. Oh,
he's
not going to happen.
Very, very loose through there, looser than a Tudor and that's just not very, very smart driving by Walsh. I know you're trying to keep the battle, son, but at this stage you're doing yourself no favours.
Yeah, that's right. Take it from an experienced driver, Zach O'Reilly. He knows there's no point battling when you're not in the race with this guy. You're just holding him up at this stage, and you're hurting your own race. Enduro racing is all about battling the clock, really. Try and do as close to a nice lap every time. And these guys have been battling for 3 or 4 laps now, and you can see the gap to Cotter is now over 4 seconds.
Be interesting to see what happens down the straight. Alex got a very good run onto Conrod Straight here, so he's looking like he's in the toe here. And he's getting ever closer as we are over the crest. Here we go. Yeah,
Walshy's gone defensive, but that's look, he's got the move almost done, but Walsh very good under brakes. That's very frustrating. Alex McEwen, a little switchback here into the kink, and he might just do a little dummy here and throw it up the inside. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to wait another lap. Oh, that's he's tearing his hair out. We're just going to ride on board here for... No, he's going for it into turn 1. Maybe that is the option. Nope.
This will be the old filling his mirrors tactic.
Yeah, he's seen that there's a fair bit of traffic up ahead, so this is his perfect opportunity here. A couple of Mustangs.
Got the suck as well.
Yep. I think we might see something here. Pulls out of the slipstream, and thank your mother for the rabbits. That'll be that. Yep. There we go. He's taken a few laps, but he's done it cleanly. And he's got just a blue flag to deal with now straight away. This could be...
No, that's all right.
Well done.
Very well done.
Yeah, well done from the Mustang there to have the awareness to see that battle was happening. And it was red hot. Got himself out of there. looking back now, those guys took up. That was such a good battle. Ryan Hawkins. He's dropped down to 8th. He's had a pit stop. So he's gone on to the softs again. Or is he still on the same set?
He's on the softs, that's for sure.
That is for sure.
But he hasn't pitted. No.
All right. In all of that, look who's up ahead of him. Nick Mello. Last time we checked in, he was about 16th. So he's made his way up the order on that old set of softs. So I reckon he's probably just about due for his first pit stop. Unless he did make that first. I reckon he did start on the supers. If anyone can remember. I certainly can't. A lot has happened in that.
We'll find out in 3 laps because you won't have enough fuel to get past 18 laps. So
if he keeps going past 18, there's Luke Newing has just binned it out of Murray's. Oh, there's another car off the track there too. So that's a bit worrying. That could have been a bit of a tangle up with blue flag there for Luke Newing, who was the leader of the race, but now that is in James Delaney's court.
I didn't see any collision things pop up here in the background for Newing, so I'm not sure unless you saw it and I didn't. Any collision?
No,
might have just been an error.
Maybe just a little bit of just got a bit balked maybe from the blue flag spinning around in front of him. Bit of target fixation perhaps, but Luke Newing. So we got the inside tip from Alex's dad in the chat that Nick Mello did start on the supers, so he has made a pit stop along the way. So he might be filled up for maybe another 10 laps from here. Yep. Walsh hasn't pitted, we know that. Newing hasn't pitted either, I believe. So once those two guys in, that makes Mello up to 4th. Ferguson...
Oh, Newing's just looped it too, by the way.
He's done it. Yeah, oh, where's that? That's in
That's at the bottom of the S's.
The dipper. And there goes Cotter up into 2nd. Oh, Luke Newing. I tell you what, he's one of the...
spewing right now.
Yeah, he's...
Spewing Newing.
Spewing Newing. He's one of the quickest drivers in qualifying spec, and in the practice server, you see his name up the top every week so far. Once he gets his consistency sorted, he's going to be one of the guys to beat.
Excuse me.
That
wasn't it. That was a mosquito nearly coming in, and I nearly breathed it in. Sorry, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen.
Say sorry.
And he's run wide again.
Say sorry to the mosquito. You've ended his life prematurely. But tell you what, Luke Newing's probably had enough on those tyres. It looks like he is coming in. So what's that? That's 17 laps in.
Yes.
Tyres, he might have just come in a lap early, maybe.
Now, I'll time his pit box and see what he's actually getting fixed.
Yeah, Walsh is coming in as well.
Walsh has had enough, finally, as I said. And as we predicted too. He's definitely been on the same set of softs and a full tank of fuel for this duration of the race so far.
Yeah, he has. We might see a lot of drivers now that started on the softs coming in. None from the top 10 so far, as Harley Marshall just keeping Stephen Marsden honest in front. Everyone's dropping down into the 206, 207 mark. Luke Newing and Walsh still not moving. There we go. Newing is away and he's out. He's going to come out just in front of... Jeez, who was that? Hard to say.
Harley Marshall, that is. Is it Harley Marshall? No.
Marshall's up the road a little bit. So it's just it's a blue flag actually, lap car. In the Nick Percat colours there, the Mobil 1 car. Harley Martin. Oh, there's a car.
Oh, that was Turby, my friend. It was Turby.
Yep.
There's be around as well.
That's Turby. There's someone around at the back there. We don't know who that is.
That's Parky.
Oh, is
Jim
it?
Park. Yes. He's trying to get it going. He's just rolling down the hill.
As long as he gets that back on the track, we're all sweet, and we know
he's
we know
going,
Parky-
yes.
Yeah, he won't give up. Still an hour and 20 to go. This is
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Anything could happen. Delaney is into the pits. Our race leader is now pulling in. We're going to see. We're going to predict where he comes out. So it's about a 30-second stop. So he might come out in front of Hawkins. I'm just going to ride with Hawkins and see. He's got blue flag to contend with in front. He'll be on the blower. Get this blue flag out of the way.
Something to that extent. That's Cameron Smith
Something
in
like
front
that.
of him.
Cameron Smith.
Yep.
Nick Mello coming into the pits. That might be an early stop for him. But Delaney's now
Just
moving.
moves now.
Yeah, so that's quite a long stop for James Delaney. He's going to come out. Virgo might even have a crack at him at the end of this straight. He certainly will. If I know Fergo, I'm just going to ride on board.
Don't let the kind, mellow demeanour of Fergo let give you the disguise. He's hot under the collar. As soon as that helmet goes on, he's up there.
Yeah, that's right. He's like a gladiator. Put that mask on and he's done.
Yeah, like a gladiator. But we all say bloody Volvo drivers. He drives one. He's actually the opposite. He's actually that's a good Volvo driver. So look out as he comes around here.
Certainly one of the better ones.
Just too wide through there, ladies and gentlemen. You don't see that too often. Is he going to make it around?
He does. James Delaney giving him plenty of space as well. That's going to be enough overlap for Ferguson to get back on the racing line. So that is... where's Delaney? He's come out in fifth, so that's not a bad pit stop there from James Delaney. Meanwhile, that has inherited Cotter the lead, and I think that is the first round of pit stops done. So maybe Ferguson is the only one yet to pit in this top five.
Well, he's done a very good job if he has so, because that's a lot of fuel saving there.
Yeah, we're 18 laps in.
But he was on super soft, so I do remember that at the start. So I think he's pitted already.
Yeah, right. Okay, so this is legit. Everyone's filtered through. Ferguson up to fourth. That's a ripping drive from our man Andrew Ferguson. Now he's got his tyres up to temp, so he's going to have a bit of a battle on his hands once James gets his tyres in the same window. Big slide from Fergo into the chase. It's all happening there.
Slide of the day so far, I would say.
Yeah, pretty good. We've seen a few, but none better than that. Ferguson a 2:09 on that last lap. That's probably not his best. He's 4 seconds off his best, to be fair. So I think he might be at the arse end of those tyres. Maybe a bit of that battle with Delaney coming up the hill might have put a bit of a damper on that lap. But,
something's happened. Cotter has tapped the wall somewhere in the background. Very light damage, but doesn't seem to have affected him at all at this stage. But I did see that pop up in the other screen.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, the server is set to full damage. We've not given the drivers any leeway with that. I remember in previous seasons we've dropped the damage rate, and that's not how we want to do it around here. We do have the best drivers in the country in Assetto Corsa, and there's no doubt about that. So we got to make it as hard as we can for those guys.
Got to make it real, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Make it real. You can't just scrape the wall every lap and get away with it. So we're going to experience a few mechanical pit stops maybe along the way. We've seen a few actually hit the wall big time so far. Scotty Garrick was one of them. Who else? Lawrence Smith on the opening lap, I believe, is going very slowly. Yep.
Plenty of wall slaps, slapping harder than an 80s nightclub.
It's slapping harder than me in the VIP lounge at 2 a.m. down at the local.
Yep. On the big pigs at the Pokes.
There we go, Mr. Cashman. But looks like James Delaney has inserted his $50 coin, a $50 note into the Pokes, and he's just gone straight through with cherries all around into the chase, and that will be the easiest position he's done all day. Ferguson saw him coming. He might be listening to our commentary, Zach, just saying there's no point battling in places where you don't need to be battling.
He could be. But who are we to give advice? We're just layman, little lappers sitting here just watching the racing going on. It's very easy from the sidelines. So, we'll give credit where credit's due. These boys are racing hammer and tong all the way through this 2-hour stint, and we're nearly at the halfway mark too. So, bit of fatigue will come in now. The old mental challenge. It's without boring everyone with scientific, of the human anatomy, but you can only really pay attention for an hour and a half at a time, full whack, before the brain starts to waver. So, could be some unforced errors later down in this stint.
Oh, it wouldn't be a race around Bathurst without a few unforced errors. I think we can chuck the E-meter on all these guys and get the error on count going with Mr. Hubbard. And
very good.
There goes the concentration levels of Lawrence Smith, because that is a big off into the wall at Forest Elbow, and that's probably going to result in a little bit of damage.
No, it doesn't look like he's got any.
Maybe a little bit of left hand down, but that's probably dealable. He can probably make it to the end on that. O'Connor up behind Scotty Garrick. Tell you what, he'd be a bit disappointed, Scotty Garrick, after qualifying pretty close to the top 10. He's dropped down to 20th, and as we've seen this season, he's one of the competitors here.
Very much so, and last season too, he showed some excellent pace at Sydney Motorsport. No, at the Bend, sorry. He was on fire. He was leading by 9 or 10 seconds at one stage, fairly and squarely. So definitely got some pace there, Scotty, and don't count him out here. I would guarantee he'll be in the top 10 by the end of this race, mark my words.
All right, we're going to
keep it clean.
Someone write that down. Scotty Garrick for top 10 here from 19th. I reckon you won't be wrong. Well, you can't be too far off there. We're going to look down the order. Who we haven't seen yet? Bradsky Turby, one of the new guys to AK Racing there in the Nick Percat Mobile colours. That's a good looking livery, that one.
I tell you what, just as a joke, he's doing Nick Percat proud, because that car at the moment, the amount of times it's been in the wall and around and about, it's got as many hits as Nick Percat's car generally does at the end of every race weekend. So keep the tribute going, son. It's very good. I'm enjoying every moment of it.
It's like a bit of action behind. No, that's not him. We've got Mello and Madigan who are going side by side into turn 1. Looks like Mello's got that move done, but Madigan's going to sit in the toe, and he might return serve up into turn 2. What do we reckon? I think
he's too far back there, my dear friend.
I think he might be. Thought about it, pulled out, let him know he's there. But Nick Mello will be looking forwards. I tell you what, he won't be looking too much in his mirrors. Once he gets past these guys, he's on a bit of a warpath. He didn't have the best start. I think we figured out that he did pit early, so I think he might have just pit into a bit too much traffic. That's definitely
Bradsky Turby's just again more hits than Elvis at the moment, that car, and it's just looking a little. Oh, geez, doesn't look too second-hand from inside, but outside, tail's a different story. Yeah.
holding on to 23rd position, so he's not looking too bad.
It's like a book with a really bad cover on it, but the inside's actually all right once you're reading it. That car. Fazzari is literally just doing his best around here at the moment in 22nd. So good to see him.
Just had to sidestep Shaggy Smith there. He's on a stint on the Super Softs, so he's just getting some track position midway through this race, getting on those Super Softs, trying to make up. That's an interesting line there from Fazzari.
He's just getting out of the way as I think it was Lockie Grant comes through. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, one of the Mobil 1 cars.
Yep. Very good guess. As Hawkins is obviously in the pits as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
See where he pops out.
That'll be his second pit stop. Surely. 22 laps you can't do on without that. So that'll be his second stop for the evening. We'll look there at Marsden now. Up behind Newing.
Marsden found himself doing 540s on lap 1. So he'll be very excited to be back in the top 10 here. And this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you actually get your head down, bum up, eyes forward, and recovery drives definitely pay off in a long race like this.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, as Chris would know as well, you never count yourself out. Doesn't matter if you're 10 laps to go or 400 laps to go. You've had an incident, you always get back in there and you just might surprise yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Put a bit of effort in, put your head down, and you can always surprise yourself about what you can achieve. So tune in for some more life support help here on AK Racing. We're here for your mental health. It's
called 13 AK Racing, and we call it AK Line. So
that's right.
If you want to get amongst it, plenty of laughs, plenty of banter, plenty of psychological help behind the wheel of a V8 supercar, and we're more than happy to volunteer our time.
Plenty of life coaching to be had. Some experienced lads around here. One who's on the opposite end of the experience timeline is here, Daniel Walsh. I think we mentioned earlier he's a 16-year-old lad from Western Sydney. He's done the right thing to get into sim racing rather than stealing cars in real life, which I think is what they do in Western Sydney. I'm not too sure. I'm not from down there, but I just hear on the grapevine that's what the kids like to do down there. But here he is up behind Stephen Marsden. Someone stop me from talking.
Look, honestly, I was just going to chip in and say he can't, obviously he can't afford to steal ones in real life and can't afford a real race car either or steal one, so here we are in the virtual world. So hopefully, Daniel Walsh, my dear friend, you are listening and laughing with us because we are just obviously kidding. But it'll be interesting to tell us where, at one stage, what part of Western Sydney you're from, because there's a couple of towers up in there where life's a bit questionable for the mob up there. But nonetheless, Walsh sounds like he's from the right end of Western Sydney. So
that's right. He's got
hopefully he's not from Mount Druitt.
I think it's closer to Parramatta.
Okay.
So commiserations to any Eels fans out there. He's
don't worry about them.
Got a pretty good setup. So I don't know if he works. He's hit his dad up for a sim racing rig, and tell you what, he's one of the guys that's made some of the biggest improvements I've seen over the last couple of seasons since he started. So he's actually been here for a couple of seasons. So it's very early. I wish I started sim racing when I was 15.
Yep, I'm with you there too. But as technology advances, everything gets a bit cheaper and easier to find. So beauty of AC is it definitely doesn't require too much of a powerful graphics card if you just got the basic setup. So anyone can join.
That's right. It's available to all, unlike the real thing in motorsport. Very hard to get sponsors. Very hard to, unless you've got a rich family. Get right into it. Enough of that. Brandon Pearce made his way up to 13th position. One of the newcomers to AK Racing this year. We've seen him in Wednesday Cup, and I think he's also one of the new guys to watch. We see him doing a fair bit of practice in the practice service. And I'll tell you what,
practice makes perfect. I'll give you the mail.
That is correct. The more you do, and it's a lot of the case here in sim racing. Whoever does the most practice generally is doing the better in the races, because if you can go 2 hours without pinning it, without putting it in the wall, without putting a tyre on the grass, without spinning it around, you're going to be up there in the top 5. Doesn't matter if you're the quickest, but if you can just stay on the track, avoid others, don't get into silly tussles, you can go a long way. So that's a credit to some of these blokes. They're not the quickest, but they've got ticker.
Absolutely, and that's all we need. Spirit, bit of fight, bit of resilience, bit of colour, bit of life, and you'll be up there in no time. I give everyone that advice is, practice makes perfect. As you said, Chris, the more laps you do, the better you'll get, and then you'll know the car. So always good to start. Doesn't matter what age you start at any rate, just get those laps in.
Here's a guy that does plenty of laps. It's Brandon Pearce's teammate in the Norton Hornets. It's Laurie Smith. he goes about it the right way.
He does.
He asks a lot of questions about setup, gets a lot of knowledgeable advice from some quicker guys, and he puts it to practice. Unfortunately, had a shocking start to this race, but he was quick in practice, he was quick in qualifying, so he's on the comeback here as he makes his way past Bill, the 10K man, Kosmarikas, the nicest guy in sim racing. So he just sidesteps him at the moment. He's going to pull back into the slipstream and go about his business as he is. Oh, is he going to send it up? No.
I thinks twice. Very, very smart man, Billy.
Absolutely. If you talk about experience, he's one of our elder drivers on the grid. So it's good to see. We got from the young end of town, Daniel Walsh. I think he's only 16, and Bill Kosmarikas is definitely one of the more senior members. So he's well respected around the traps. So we
always good to have some older blood. AK Racing, Jim Park's another one as well.
Yeah,
been around the traps a fair while. Veteran of AK Racing, and just the epitome of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and it's a credit to a lot of these guys who are new to sim racing, but not young whippersnappers. It's the older you get, the harder it is sometimes, they say, and to get your head around these cars is one thing in itself, but then to be quick is another thing. So, good on to everyone who gets into it late, and it really just points it out that there's no bad time to start sim racing.
No, absolutely. You can peak at any time in your career. All it takes is a little bit of imagination. And I tell you what, if your eyesight starts to go, you can tune into the broadcast and pretend you're a real driver. You can show your kids and grandkids and say, "Look here, I mixed it with the best of them."
Absolutely. And if you really can't even get in it, you just set your wheel up in front and just try to imitate the lap as we ride on board with another of our compatriots and pretend it's you. Your 6-year-olds won't even know the difference.
Well, that's right. I do that all the time. There's
ghost steering, we call it.
There'll be a film clip on the telly, and my 5-year-old will go, "Is that you, Daddy?" I say, "Yeah, of course it is."
Yeah, can't you tell? Bloody hell.
More hits than Elvis.
More hits than Elvis. Oh shit!
So we see Ferguson going up the inside of Walshy. That's a spicy little battle here, and they're going to go door to door. They're banging doors up the main straight here. Look,
this is audacious.
This is audacious. I'll tell you what, Ferguson is in no mood to give an inch there. A bit of a slide on the exit. As we've seen, Walshy's got that thing set up to be very low downforce, so I expect to see him at least level, if not in front, by the end of this straight.
Now this will be a combination of fuel versus fuel and tyre wear versus heaps of fuel but better tyres, because he'll be on an older set compared to Walshy.
Yep.
But at the same time, that lighter car is not having that effect on the grip side of things as of yet.
So we're just looking out the front of Luke Newing's car. He's got the front row ticket to this little battle here. Walshy, as we've seen, isn't afraid of giving a little bit of a send. And I saw a couple of laps ago, he was trying to have a go around the top end of town here, across the top of the mountain. I'll tell you what, you need to have a set of bollocks the size of beach balls if you're going to do that.
Absolutely. You need demolition balls, in fact, down there to give everyone plenty of bruises if you swing them around too much.
There's a car off. That's Bradsky, Turby.
Turby's and Walshy's got a moto. Holy mackerel, and then he's tagged him. This is pandemonium, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow, we have just witnessed some absolute carnage.
We've got Mello coming up to the scene of the crime here, and Newing's still parked across the track. There's not much he can do about this. John Madigan is coming down through the S's. Has Newing got going yet? He has. Oh, that's tragic for Luke Newing. That's tragic.
Wow.
Yeah, we were just talking about the size of... Oh, no, see, those tyres are cooked. He's gone around again. Poor old Luke Newing. The problem is compounding I don't know how he's going to get around here. He's going to have to do some sort of flick spin.
Oh, he's teleported to pits.
Oh, no, that's tragic. That's put him down a whole lap. Luke.
Luke, just get it back there, son. You didn't have to do that, me old friend.
No, that was... And there's more damage here. Our Bertsman now. I think we might see a safety car. There's cars off everywhere. We've got our Bertsman just stuck there at the bottom of the dipper. Looks like he's got a fair bit of damage as well. Maybe not so much. Holy moly, what a what a little passage of play there.
This is the same as as in real life. When they get to halfway, people start losing their marbles. We've seen it many a time, and it's just happening here in Assetto Corsa, ladies and gentlemen.
A little bit of action there keeps us all on our toes. Gee whiz. We were talking about Walsh as the bollock side.
Next minute we've got demolition balls of Walshy just trying to wreck the concrete barrier.
I've seen his cabinet, and it's not as big as you'd think. He's got his cupboard. He's got a cupboard in his room. You wouldn't think of it, but he's sending photos to me of his cupboard. So thank you, Walshy, for that. Keep those photos to yourself, son.
Don't need to see the old cupboard and the
the
clothes hanger. I'll give you the mail.
Certainly don't. Alex McEwen has probably made another pit stop now because he's down in fourth. Might need confirmation from Mr. McEwen in the chat how he got down there. I'm assuming that's another pit stop.
This has killed me because Mr. McEwen doesn't seem to have his S tracker turned on, P tracker turned on, so anything he does I cannot see.
I'm
not watching.
Okay, all right. You've got the live timing up and running.
Yes.
I assume it's another pit stop from Alex because what lap did they pit on? It must have been lap 13, I believe.
Yeah, so he's got to, if that's the case, then he'd have to lap 33 if he filled up on fuel.
All right.
Should get about 18 per tank. So 13 plus 18, what's that, 31?
Yep, and we're up to 28, so he might have just come in early. He's seen that there's a bit of a gap to Harley in front, so he's got a bit of free air, and he's only got 2 cars in front of him before he gets to the leader, so it's probably, I think he might have just pulled another little pit stop here. Try and get on those new tyres, trying to make up a bit of time to Matt Cotter.
Very true, as Nick Mello's just disconnected or given up the ghost and cracked the sads.
Yeah, he's out. Nick Mello had DNF'd.
He has exited the server, my friend. He is gone.
I reckon that.
Hopefully it was just a technical issue.
Surely.
But, and here he is. He's actually returned into the server, so maybe a technical drama there.
Yeah, I think that's got to be maybe a modem disconnect or something.
Or the other thing
Tragic.
is too there, my dear friend Chris, is if you do have damage that's 10,000 seconds before you can go in, or a penalty or controls locked, it's quicker to just exit and enter the server and come back a lap or 2 down.
Correct.
And then resume.
So he might have, he might have
done that.
He might have hit the wall very hard, and probably the best option was just to jump out of the server and jump back in. But I think you're going to need permission from the race directors to do that. So I'm sure he did it in the correct fashion.
Well, if that's anything to go off saying he got hit hard, Daniel Walsh was trying to do his best impression of Travis Pastrana on a motorbike there, and with the full mono, and that's when Mallow came in and clipped him. So see.
That was a busy little period. We had cars going off all over the place, and I tell you what, we have not seen a safety car yet.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, but touch wood.
All green flag running so far.
As we did mention as well to our drivers, is that the race will just keep ticking down. It's not going to, time will not be paused if there is a safety car. So this is the actual race time, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't refilled your cuppers, or you're thinking, should I get that last alcoholic beverage, or gee, that Tim Tam's looking good, but there's only 3 left in the packet, you might want to either get it into it or hold off for another hour or so, because that's all we've got left. over the halfway mark. As looks like Cotto's gap was at 8 seconds, and now it's only at 3.1.
It's back down to 3. Yeah, Delaney making up some good ground here at the moment, and/or could be that Cotter has. Oh, look at this! There's a little battle going on here between Hawkins and Sharp. Hawkins made his way up the inside at the chase, but Sharp is not giving it up without a fight. He might even throw it up the inside here at turn 1. He's very close. He's right up under the rear wing of Hawkins. He might just have to concede that now. Who are we talking about before there? McEwen now.
Talking about Cotter and Delaney and McEwen.
Yeah, we're going to check out Cotter's last lap was at 2:06, so he did lose 3 seconds on that previous lap.
Lap traffic.
Delaney was at 2:06 as well. Marshall at 2:06. McEwen at 2:06. All of the top 4 doing 2:06 the last lap. So, tell you what, this might be a little bit of an overtake here. Looking at Harley Marshall.
Not as of yet. Maybe up Mountain Straight.
I think into
maybe
turn,
even into
maybe.
corner.
Harley Marshall going defensive.
Yeah, this is definitely for position here and strategy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
That's a very big slide there from Harley Marshall.
That's going to cost him. McEwen's got the momentum, but he's just going to sit under the rear wing for now. He can see that there's lap traffic. That's going to be advantageous to one of these guys, but which one we don't know. Might be. I think whoever's in that car, it looks like it's Alex Mazzari. He's just going to step clear and let these guys battle it out. Well done there from Alex.
Yeah, very well done, Alex. Thank you very much. And return suit back here to these two. It's just neck and neck racing at the moment. I would say Harley's tyres are just that little bit older.
Yep.
There's a big slide there. That was right on the edge there for Alex, but got the whole shot run through here, up through. Oh my God, I've completely forgotten what I'm talking about.
Yeah, up through Silman.
Up through, over the grate as we come down into that section and in. Sorry, Chris, you can take over.
You're right, mate. You go. It's all happening here. I'm lost for words. We're going to see. We saw Alex McEwen stuck behind. Who was it earlier? Daniel Walsh. So he's certainly on the. Well, he's on the conservative end of overtakers here at AK. He'll set up and he'll take his time with an overtake, as compared to other guys like Matt Cotter, as we've seen, can be very aggressive on the overtake, and it's up to the guy in front to sort of see him coming and take maybe a little bit of throttle, maybe a little bit of extra brake coming into the section. But tell you what, if you got Alex behind you, you know that the overtake is coming, and he's very calculated in it. He's taking in all the data right now. He's assessing Harley Marshall right now. He's saying, where is he slow and where is he vulnerable?
Absolutely. And always got a mirror full of Alex.
Yeah.
If you're looking in the rear, there's Alex. That's what she said essentially on a Saturday night. So it doesn't matter where you're here or in the real life. He's always going to be there. If you're too close to him, and as you said, calculated there, Chris, and it's a credit to him. It's patience is a virtue, and it's very good racecraft if you can do that, and just hold your line and just wait for the right moment for the guy in front to just make that unforced error and let the pressure build like a slow cook up.
Yeah, you
bang.
Don't want to force it sometimes. You can just, as you said, just fill the mirrors up and let the bloke feel it. Feel the burn. So Harley's going to have to go shallow here into turn 3 and 4.
She does, and Alex is...
There's a little bit of contact, but he gets out of the throttle, so he knew. He didn't force the issue there. A little bit of contact, but we're playing on. We're going to go another lap and no tears shed.
Now, I'll tell you, just as we're looking at this very, very tight battle here, Andrew Ferguson, he pitted on lap 28.
Yeah.
For some softs. So his tyres are only 3 laps old, and he's sitting there in 8th. Now, don't count him off because he's only 5 seconds off being in 6th position so far. So a little
Andrew
bit of a
Ferguson.
midfield. Yes.
Yeah, he's in 6th position as we speak.
Oh, he is too. My timing screen's completely different to yours. So, but he's on fresh tyres compared to Walshy. So if he can gain he's got to get a lot of time to gain, but we'll find out. As Alex is just having a beautiful run. Holy cow, that is quick.
Yeah, he definitely had a bit of the suck
Harley's
there.
just said, no, he's let off the gas already before that final corner, and said, thank you, you can have that one, son.
Yep.
We'll play on to the next battle of pit stops. So very good move by Alex, and fair play to Harley there too. That was clean racing as he dives into the pits now.
Yeah,
does Harley Marshall. So yeah, this will be interesting to see if there is an undercut at some stage during the next pit stop battle.
Well, who's Marshall racing against? Walsh and I guess his teammate now.
Walsh and Grant.
Lockie Grant, Andrew Ferguson. So we'll see where all those guys come out in the next few laps when they all start to filter in for the pit stop. Paul Huddy is new to AK Racing. This is his first race. So welcome, Paul. He's going to get a bit of airtime now as he goes up the inside of Bill 10K man Cosmerikas. He gets that job done. Yeah, absolutely. He's got Cosmerikas and Garrick actually in the background there. It's a little three-way battle. Cosmerikas is going to try and argue the point around the outside now. Coming to Murray's, there's a bit of contact. Oh! Got a bit too spicy there for our lads, but Bill is back on the track. There's no tears shed here as Scotty Garrick just makes his way up the inside of Paul Huddy.
Easy as you like there by our man Scotty Garrick. Puts him up into, 16th position now, is it?
Correct.
15th, sorry. Yep. Excellent driving there. And he's got another 15 seconds till Luke Newing, who's basically 2/3 of a lap behind Albertsma there, as Hawkins is DNF'd.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess another close meeting with the wall, I suppose, because you can pretty much ride off your car at the top of this mountain, and that's a long trip back to the pits. We'll see if he enters back into the servo. He's got a minute 25, a minute 45 to Garrick, so if he can get back in, he might be still in 14th position with, effectively 48 minutes to go. Paul Huddy's been racing for 3 years. Comes from Gawler, down in South Australia.
Okay.
I don't know where Gawler is. I know I think they have a greyhound racing track there. I've seen that on the screens down at the TAB.
Where's this at? In Gawler?
In Gawler.
Okay.
Down in SA. So, experienced. He's got 3 years under his belt. So, Paul Huddy up into 15th place. Very good to see. New guy's getting amongst it. He's we were setting up his mumble actually just this afternoon, and it was all too much for me. So I had to get the expert Matthew Richards to come in and take over because I was out of ideas, mate. I don't know how to fix some of these things. I'm not much of a PC man myself.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge for anyone over the age of 32, Chris. So just stick to what you know, mate.
I'm in the senior citizens category now, I suppose. So exceptions are made for people like me. That's all right. We do our best out here. Alex McKeown now is putting James Delaney under all sorts of pressure coming down the mountain into the dipper. Oh, I'll tell you what. He's got his tyres set up in that range. He's absolutely flying. You can see James Delaney struggling a little bit on his tyres. They might be towards the end of his stint. We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He's a proud Victorian too, Alex. So representing. It's good to be amongst some talent down here in the south of Australia, so to speak. It's funny that South Australia is further north than Victoria, but anyway. We'll take it. And while he's driving around and just pestering Delaney, as our timing tower just decides to do some funny business on us here. He literally explains in his little profile that we give. We've asked a questionnaire of all the racers prior to the season commencing or when they sign up. A couple of different facts about them and what their strengths are and weaknesses. And his strengths: claimed is wheel-to-wheel racing, and we can definitely say that's a tick on that box there as well. But he says he let himself down in the pit strategies, which it'll be interesting to see what happens. But so far, so good.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a dummy to the rest of the field. I've been racing against. I've raced against Alex for quite some time now, and he's one of the smarter drivers on the grid when it comes to pit strategy, and certainly wheel-to-wheel racing. So I think there might be just a little bit of a dummy there thrown by Alex in the comments there.
Maybe.
Just give the boys something to think
about.
Some
of his best work is there was a question. It's an unusual fact about yourself, and his reply to it that at one point in my life I was the youngest person on the planet. So very clever there. He's got the skills, but he's also got the witty humour to match it. It's, holy cow, Shaggy just goes straight through the middle, and that was always going to end in disaster.
Yeah, he got what was always going to happen there. That was a little bit ambitious from our man Shaggy.
Daniel Kvyat torpedo-esque.
Holy moly! Yeah, that was always going to happen. Oh my goodness! Nick Mello down in 18th again. I think maybe Pitt's strategies just pushing him down the order. He's been up and down like a yo-yo. We've seen him up to 4th position and back down to 18th. So maybe he DNF'd, didn't he?
He DNF'd.
He's
back in.
Disconnection.
He came out and he's back in the race now.
Yep.
That's where he is, unfortunately. And tough.
It's hard to keep
kick.
track of all this stuff, Zach.
It is. No, I don't blame you. And
it's very
if
tough.
some people don't have PL or S tracker on, or PLP or whatever it is, I can't track what they're doing either. So we're both left in the dark here.
Oh, so a couple of mushrooms.
A couple of mushrooms back to the 13th century before Edison was around.
That's right. If anything, we're a couple of fun guys. So that's something for the viewers out there. Showing my age. Ferguson now up behind Walsh.
Love your work, Chris. Love your work.
Oh, someone has to. Ferguson up behind Walsh now. He's tracking him down to about 6/10. Walsh probably on the arse end of those tyres, so Ferguson making up a bit of ground here. 6th position for Ferguson and his teammate just in tow, about 3 seconds behind. So it's a pretty good showing for flat pack racing tonight here at Bathurst in our first Enduro race of the year.
Incredible, considering, as we said earlier, that Marsden found himself in a bit of a first lap loop-de-loop.
Yes.
So for him to be right up there with Fergo again, this is just brilliant. And only about 2 or 3 laps, 2 or 3 tenths, between them per lap time. So could get a bit spicy between the two teammates, although they are very good friends. So I don't think any love will be lost. It's more just know what the best thing to do is and resume racing.
And if anything does happen, just mute your mic and your headphones and wait 5 minutes until Stevie's cooled down a bit. As we see McEwen right up the arse of James Delaney here coming into the Forest Elbow. So he's got a pretty good exit there, Alex McEwen. But I'll tell you what, if Delaney and Walsh are sharing setups, they're probably both on a bit of a low downforce setting.
Although McEwen's got the sucky, that's...
that.
Phew.
Yeah, look, he's going to just sail straight past, but he's going to be on the wrong side of the track.
Yep. Delaney's just given up and said, you can take that one, son.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's good racing there. There's a good amount of etiquette shown. Harley Marshall, great showing here tonight. 4th place with 43 minutes to go. Can he hold it on the track, Zach?
I think he can. It's just going to all depend on what the strategies will be. Maybe half fill a tank and get out quickly and gain some track position and not get yourself out when you do the last stop in the middle of lap traffic. It's just all to play for here. Is Delaney's now pitted as we're looking further down the track to Harley Marshall, but Delaney's in the pits, so this could be interesting.
This will be pretty close. I think Harley Marshall might have him. He'll come out. I think Delaney will come out behind Harley Marshall, and for what it's worth, it's a home race for Harley. He lives in Bathurst, so he's very much familiar with this track.
Delaney is just exiting the pits now, so still a bit further back than we anticipated there.
Yeah, we'll see where Marshall is. Hasn't quite got to turn 1 yet. So yeah, Delaney straight back into 3rd. He's got Is that Luke Newing or one of the factory Volvos there outside him? It's numbered. Oh God, I can't quite tell.
I'm trying to look here. It is Newing.
It is Luke Newing. Yeah, number 94.
Yeah.
There we go. So he's had a bit of a shocker as well. He's down in 13th position as it stands. James Delaney, pretty good race so far.
Very good race, and talk about clean racing so far as well. Is our man in lead is Matt Cotter, 18.2 seconds in front of Alex McEwen, just cruising around as we speak.
Yeah, he's had. There was a couple of moments there during the race where it was touch and go. One of which was that battle when they first come out after the first round of pits, and there was one of the Delta Racing cars in between. So I think it was Daniel Walsh making life tough for the two net leaders of the time. Him and Alex were both sort of battling it out, and Cotter made his way past Walsh quickly, and McEwen had to wait, and I think that was probably almost the deciding moment of this race.
Absolutely, excellent recap there too for anyone who missed out earlier. That's exactly what happened, and it always happens with a battle of two. Someone's always going to win and someone's always going to lose. Depends on who it is. And looks like Cotter's done that exactly. Is Nick Mello is circulating around in 17th position in that VF Commodore. Lovely livery there, as we can see.
Oh, we can't see because it's not on my end. I don't know why.
No, I'm looking at your screen, and I was just going to say, is it the off-white, the white, the ivory, or the bone? Which one is it? We just never know.
Yeah, well, it depends. Depends if he gets in the top 10, we can call it the bone. If not, it's just a bit off-white.
If Marsden's result is anything to go by, and his was white, I finished in the top 10. He'd definitely be getting the bone later on. But, see how we go with that one, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gents, shout out to Mrs. Marsden in the chat. He's got 2 seconds to make up to Ferguson in front. 3 seconds, sorry. No, it is 2.3.
2.3, yep.
So that's a top 6.
Getting distracted there, Chris. Just got a bit hot and flustered there after that last comment.
Oh, the imagination outweighs the expectation for me. So there we go. Sorry to everyone at home for that.
Oh, crikey. As O'Connor's just decided to exit the server, or maybe technical error. Fingers crossed it's the technical error.
Seen that. We've still got at least 25 in the server. My timing tower doesn't go down that far, so we don't actually... Oh, no, here we go. If we click on the bottom one, we can find out how many we got. Gee whiz, there's more. Okay, we got 30...
29 runners. No, 28 runners at the moment.
Yeah, if Hawkins has still DNF'd, that makes it 20... 1, 2, 3, 4, 27 runners. Bradsky Turby is our newest member of Sega Saturn Racing.
Sega Saturn Racing.
Yeah, so he's joined with Cooper Shipley.
Right.
As Shipley's teammate sort of just left. He just left mid-season. Didn't tell anyone.
He did too, yes.
Yeah, he just went.
Speaking of which as well, Mr. Shipley himself, is he on screen there? He is at the moment.
Certainly is.
He has a favourite number. He's a Queenslander like yourself, Chris.
Is he?
Yes, he is. He lives in Brisbane, so you might have to hit him up for a beer at one stage.
Pretty
he's
sure.
Of legal age.
I don't think he is. I think he's another one of our younger members here at AK Racing. I think he might only be 16 as well.
Well, he calls himself pretty good under brakes in the last season.
Yep.
In the Super 2s. His favourite driver is in the real world is Craig Lowndes. It's very good.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favourites.
He's one of my favourites too, and for also just for him to be where he is at the moment, Cooper Shipley. He's only been sim racing for 7 or 8 months, so very, very green in the sim racing department, and plenty of time left. Coop, you'll be up there before you know it, son. Just keep going around and around, and making sure you keep that car off the wall.
Well, that's right. He's
Stop
got
giving Bunnings too much sponsorship time there, but you can see he's got the red P plates there sitting there too, which is always good to see.
Yeah, he's upgraded. He was on the L's last season.
He was too. Yes, he was. So maybe the green P's at the conclusion of this season.
Yeah.
Into next season. Fingers crossed.
Very good. Very good to see. I wonder what he's sitting on in real life. He might be on the red P's as well.
He might be. You just never know.
Never know.
Didn't get that intrusive. Didn't ask any of those questions, how old you were or anything. We're not stalkers, so.
Speak for yourself. Yeah. I'm all over it.
You're all over it. Well, sometimes I get surprised by what you know about me. It's just a bit scary sometimes.
You just
who knows?
Hey, look, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, is my saying.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
If you don't ask, you don't know.
Pretty true. Pretty true. Now, just look back here on track at any of the battles that are happening. Our closest battle at the moment seems to be... Well, it seems to be 2 seconds. It's Grant in the wall. He's done.
He's not moving at all. I think
he has blown a motor by the look of it.
I know he's moving.
Or close to it, but there is constant smoke coming out of that car.
I think he's done.
I think he's
hang on. No, he's moving. Just waiting for the right time to perhaps get back out on track, and it's probably one of the hairiest parts of the track to be turned around.
I think he's hit the wall by the skid marks there. If you look down the track, or I can see them anyway, I think he's gone wide at the grate and slammed the wall right where that Nissan is and just done 360. I think he's done.
Yeah, I think there's a fair bit of damage there he's got the flick spin. He's gonna plough on. We're just gonna see how much damage there is. A fair bit there. He's gonna have to come into pits.
Oh, it's turning right.
Yeah.
And he's got a full left.
He's got cars coming up behind him. There, he's just lost a position to Newing, so he's got a fair gap behind to Garrick, so he might be able to get around and into the pits and come out around maybe 14th or 15th.
This could be a safety car, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, he's travelling very slowly and in certainly a dangerous part of the track. And I'll tell you what, with 34 minutes on the clock, this would be a great time for a bit of action on track to have a safety car.
This could throw strategies all out the window. He's got going again at some sort of pace.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. He's got that car going, but I'll tell you what, it could be a good time for a safety car, but that we'll leave that up to the race directors of the time. But it looks like Lockie Grant's got going, so we'll plough on for now.
Resume normal procedures. Harley Marshall himself will be ruining the day that this has happened, because those two are on for a good team championship result there.
Great points there. Harley Marshall up in the third. He's absolutely flying at his home track. So no doubt about that. It's a 2:07.8 on his last time around. He's probably at the time now. Do we know what the magic number is? On what lap?
Or what?
On what lap can we pit and make it to the end? You say 18 laps. That might be 36.
I think it's about 61 laps around here of normal racing. So what's 18 into 61? 4 pit stops, is it?
Yes,
8 forwards to 32 plus, maybe 4 pit stops, 3 pit stops.
So we might see, with half an hour to go, some of these drivers filling up and making it to the end.
Yeah, we just never know.
I think from now on, I reckon you can make it at least half an hour on a full tank.
Well, if you times 18 by 2 minutes, that's already 36. So
correct.
100%. We've definitely got way too much time for a full tank of fuel. So maybe we just see a couple of people dive in at any stage and just do a soft lap stint
all the way to the end.
They can.
Yep. I'd probably be doing that as the leader. He's got a fair bit of time up his sleeve. He'll come out in second position if he does that, and then he'll be on fresh softs. Whether there is a safety car or not, he'll be in good stead for the rest of this stint. Looking back through the order, it might just be a bit of undercutting maybe if you can. I'd be pulling in now if I was anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if anyone wants to get an advantage, it should be Alex McEwen, because the gap between himself and Harley Marshall is... Alex McEwen at the moment, just for everyone's reference at home, is already into turn 3. Turn 2, sorry, and Harley Marshall's just coming down into Hell Corner onto the pit straight. So that's a huge gap between the two. He might as well take a risk and see if he can gain some seconds back on Matt Cotter.
You see Ferguson getting lapped there by Luke Newing. Or is it the other way around?
No, it's the other way around.
So he's unlapping himself. Luke Newing unlapping himself there. You don't see that very often.
You don't, and Scotty Garrick's also wanting a piece of the Ferguson meat as well.
He's certainly got enough encouragement seeing Newing go through in one of the sister... Actually, it's 3 Volvos in a row here. All 3 of them. Scotty Garrick.
Swedish train, so to speak.
Yes. There are fewer things better in life, I've been told.
Oh, it was a Swedish train.
The Swedish trio. You can't.
Oh, the trio. Yep. I'm with you.
Very nice. If you can afford it. There we go. And Ferguson going wide there at the cutting, so that's going to give Scotty Garrick. That's going to give Scotty Garrick a fair bit of encouragement, but he has himself gone a bit wide and a fair bit of wheel spin there. So play on, boys.
Follow the leader trick.
Yep. Bit of target fixation. Teach you that in motorbike riding school. Just look where you're going and where you want to go, and you're halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
Almost cracked into a rendition. No one wants to hear that.
No.
Nick Mello's made this gap shorter and shorter, like every time I look at it. So he's coming up behind Lawrence Smith now, and judging by the way he's driving, that's pretty aggressive. He is on a charge. Got some decent tyres on this VF, and look at this. This gap's come down about a second in the time we've been watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And it may be the old setup differential here could be a very good thing with the wings situation. Maybe get a bit more suck up the mountain straight.
Yeah. Leave yourself open for a little bit of a send into the chase. As we speak, Alex McEwen has come into pit, and he's back out. He's back out in second position, so that's a free pit stop for him, and he's got clear air in front. We're going to see, if Cotter respond straight away. I think, knowing Cotter, he will stick to his strategy. He doesn't really play by other people's rules. He'll stick to his strategy. He will go as long as he's got fuel in the tank, and then he'll come in for soft supers for probably that last stint.
He's his spirit animal that lives at my house, Egg Owl, Ridgeback crossed, what is it, German short-haired pointer, or English pointer, sorry. Very much plays by his own rules, and it's the way that Matt Cotter drives. It's very interesting, but we'll find out nonetheless. At this point in time, Cotter is literally on pitch straight, and you can see the gap between him and Ford with Daniel Walsh. They're basically half a track behind each other as Walshy goes full Taniguchi style there, having a crack. That's fun to see, but not fun for the old Dunlop soft compound tyres. They'll be absolutely pleading to be given a rest, and that's just even more sliding action. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, he's certainly giving it to it there.
That's what she said, and we've seen a lot of action with the rear tyres at the moment. Especially if you're at that end of that tyre life on the temperature side of things. If you get them over 104, they will get slippy.
Yeah, the heat is on. It's on the street.
The heat is on.
It's on the street. Here we go. It's karaoke time here at OK Racing here on a Sunday night. Getting out to 9:30 p.m. here on the Eastern Seaboard. If anyone's in the comments from somewhere different, let us know. We'll make fun of your town as much as anywhere else. Nick Mello still hasn't made up that gap behind Shaggy Smith, so that I think maybe a few mistakes, a few bit of stress maybe from Nick Mello. It's got the best of him here at this slog of a two-hour race.
poor bastard, now he's coming into a pits, and he's also going to follow... No, who is that?
Yeah,
Is that Shaggy Smith in front of him there? It is.
Both of them
So-
coming in. He's made
Oh,
up.
look at that. That is made up some time there in the pits.
Yeah.
Where are we?
I can't get a good view of it. There we go. But we'll go back to Jacob Albertsma. He dead set Shane Van Gisbergen into the pits there, so they're gonna come out. One. I reckon maybe even Mello might jump him in the pits. We'll see what happens when they come out. James Delaney down to 8th, and he's taking the grassy route there. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I think he might have come a buster, or maybe he's taken his final pit stop of the evening. Where's our boys, Mello and Smith? Mello has come out in front.
He has. He's jumped Shags.
Yeah,
and
Shags is just out of the pits now, so he's had he's overfueled, I'd imagine. At least he'll make it to the end.
hang on, let's have a look here. I've just...
We can probably see how many litres has taken on. Matt Cotter now into the pits. Let's see where he comes out.
Matt's put in 98 litres, so not even a full tank of fuel.
No.
So he's put softs on.
And he's come out.
And
oh, look at where Alex is. He's
just straight and a half in front of him.
Yeah.
So yeah. No chance of an undercut there. It was going to be a miracle unless Cotter bins it somehow for Alex McEwen to pick up that position.
Yeah. It's always possible.
Always is.
Yeah, with the damage rate as it is, you might anything could happen still. Cotter might just get it wrong on one turn and bend the steering, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, very good point there, Chris, as well. Now
it's unlikely.
Whoa, what was that?
It's unlikely. Hey.
It's unlikely. What?
It's unlikely that Cotter will bend the steering arm, but it's always possible.
It could be a possibility. We did see that at Adelaide last round. He found a sticky wall, and that ruined his race absolutely well and truly.
Well, that was on the last lap too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on the last lap, and he was winning by a considerable margin. So.
Oh well. Maybe it's not as unlikely as I might have thought.
Well, let's not jinx him anyway. Well, we'll probably reverse jinxing him then anyway, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. At this point in time, Harley Marshall, this has to be the drive of the night so far, unless we've missed something completely off and crucial here. He has driven the wheels off this thing.
Absolutely. He's come from, I think he started 10th or 11th, 9th or 10th, because him and Lockie were 9th and 10th on the grid. I can't remember which one was which, but that's a considerable gap that he's made up there, up to 3rd, and he's got a 6-second gap to Walsh behind, 18 up to... No, 6 up to Marshall as well, so... Sorry, McEwen. Oh, my God. This is a long race, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gone over the hour and a half mark, ladies and gentlemen. I picked it early. We're losing the focus.
Yeah.
It definitely starts to happen.
Yep. I'm going to stop... I'm going to stop myself from saying silly things. We are professionals here at AK Racing. Don't... despite what we say here, we try our best. Harley Marshall coming around for the 46th lap of this race so far. So the gaps have started to even themselves out a little bit. We're going to look down the field. Something we haven't featured yet. Maybe Brody Sharp. The Calsonic Nissan. You may not be able to see the livery.
If anyone watched last round, they can visualise a nice blue Nissan as it goes around the circuit here with the big white Calsonic sign. It reminisces of the R33 GTR in the Japanese Grand Touring Car Championship, as a VF just nearly loses it completely. That was a bit hairy there. Was that Newing or?
Newing's in the Volvo.
Oh yeah, we would be too. He's in the Supercar logo there on our screen.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be
traffic having a bit of fun out there at the back, but nonetheless, yeah, Sharp has raced really well.
The Tokyo Drift, a fellow. Well, he's South Australian as well. Got a lot of South Australian drivers actually in AK Racing, come to think of it. Quite a few.
I cracked a joke about South Australians at Adelaide in the drivers' briefing and had a bit of a reaction there, so that was good. Found out just how many there were.
Yeah, you hit the nerve and they all come through in the chat.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoy it, and speaking of enjoying it, the teammates in Marsden and Ferguson, they're locked in a very tight battle here for 5th and 6th.
They are.
This has just been going on for bloody 10 or so laps. I've been watching intently, and it's just ever crept up. Fergo's sort of said, "Go by me, son," but then he's just said, "No, I'm actually going to follow you now," and found some time. So interesting stuff, these two, but they'll be stoked with this result so far.
Yeah, flat. Oh, hang on, where did that car come from? That's that VF was not there.
What is that?
Who is that in front? Is it Nick Mello? No. I think it is. Yeah, it was Nick Mello. So he, was it a rejoin? I don't know. We were in the driver's seat there for Ferguson. We didn't quite see where Nick Mello's VF came from, but he's found himself in between Ferguson and Marsden, a little flat pack sandwich right now.
Yeah, man, Fergo just made an error there and got a cut warning as well. As a result of that surprise of the VF just popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Surprised me.
Just let that gap go out to 4 or 5 seconds now, I think.
Yeah. So we might have to wait a little bit longer for a bit of a teammate battle there. If he's got the pace, he'll. But those guys will be on the comms anyway.
Oh yeah, they'll be fine.
Yep. They'll be probably chatting about what they're doing on the weekend, having a good old yarn.
Fergo will be talking about how he dynoed the Volvo and made 450 micro horsepowers out of his 1.2 litre Volvo motor.
Talking about all the different hats he's bought for when he goes driving in the thing.
True.
Yeah, he got a brand new fedora with 3 different colours, so you can wear that for 3 different weekends in a row for the little Volvo meets they go to.
Very true.
Can he talk any more shit? In the chat, vote on a 1 to 10 how much more shit I can talk for this evening. We are very much over the 1.5 hour mark, and it's all starting to get. It's all starting to wind up. We've got 19 minutes to go. Matt Cotter with a 20-second lead over Alex McEwen, but this will, if it stops as is, if we stop the race right now, that'll still give Alex the lead in the championship. Cotter will definitely make up some ground there. I think he was 3rd or 4th. Harley Marshall will be the big mover and shaker with a podium overall. He'd be absolutely stoked about this.
Driver of the day so far, we had a voting channel.
Yep.
By a long shot.
Yeah.
This guy will be winning it.
Yeah, absolutely. Started from 10th or 9th or 8th. We should really start running.
Pandemonium. It hasn't been a simple race for him.
No.
Looking at the lap 1 sort of incidents, he was a fair way down by the end of that first lap. So for him to be where he is at the moment, he should be very proud of himself. Not even half a. What am I talking? He's over half a minute, but he's not half a track away from the leader in Matt Cotter. So well done, son. Yeah, everyone's
mostly still on the lead lap. We're looking back where they might be sort of lapping down in the 14, 15 range.
We're at so where are we? We're at 47. We're at 15th. No, 14th.
Yeah,
would be the start of the lap traffic.
There you go.
Jacob Albertsma.
So that's very impressive for a 2-hour race, considering last week Alex McEwen lapped them up to the podium just about. And that was only a 56 lap race at Adelaide. Super impressive showing there from Alex last time out. He's got his work cut out for him today. He might not get the victory, but he's definitely got a big points haul. As we see this flat packed battle starting to heat up.
Yeah, very much so. This will, again, excellent commentary in the Mumble chat. We wish we could listen in, see what the conversations are between the two of them. Maybe maybe they're having bets on who could be the fastest driver in the Volvo.
Well, I reckon with 17 minutes to go, the team orders are out the window. It's every man for himself from here.
Absolutely.
Ferguson looking like he's got the pace on him for now. But he has made a couple of mistakes in the last couple of laps, so we won't put that past him. But that battle could be something to watch. They're not going to get too spicy because this is great teams points for both of them. For the flatback team, they're running third in the competition right now for the team standings. So 5th and 6th, that's nothing to be poking a stick at. It's pretty good points all.
I'll be happy if I was them right now. That's a brilliant points haul.
Take that. Who's in front? They've got
Walsh, Marshall, McEwen and Cotter.
Yeah, so Project 4 not having the best race with Nick Mello back in 12th. Cotter and who's his teammate? Jenkos. He's not in the top 25. I can't see him there. So he must be down as well. Marshall and Grant. Where's Grant? He's gone as well. Oh no, he's down in 17th. He's in the pits right now. Walsh and Delaney. There you go. They're their main competition. I think they will be second. So Delta Racing and Flat Packed in a tight battle, not only in the championship, but on track here for points. Fairly big gap from Marsden to Walsh, so this probably be the finishing order if there's no disaster. I'll tell you what, a safety car right now would just wouldn't that spice things up?
Wow, that'll literally make it hotter than a Indian restaurant full of 400 people and 20 people standing only zone. It'd be just ridiculous. I can't believe that we haven't had a safety car over the course of 2 hours so far.
Yeah, well, it's a testament to the driving skill in this league, really. All the way down to 25th, 26th.
Was that Marsden going around? Did we miss something there?
Oh, no, Marsden has looped it.
He has looped it by himself too.
No. And that's Delaney. He's going to pick up 6th position there as well. Is that a commentator's curse? It might be. I was just saying that this could be the finishing order. I shouldn't have said anything.
You messed it up.
Look, we're allowed one mistake.
One per race.
Yeah. Tell you what, people, they say that you learn from your mistakes. I wouldn't really know. I don't make that many.
Well, sometimes it's obliviousness is bliss there, Chris. They're making plenty and just think you don't make any.
Yeah, ignorance is a world I'd love to live in. I'll tell you what, life's good.
Don't you wish you were like 6 again, where you had absolutely no worry and the only worry was, shit, am I going to build that tunnel in the sandpit tomorrow morning with a matchbox car, or is it going to collapse on me? How much better was life back then?
Absolutely. Tell you what, couldn't reach the pedals of the car, so no, I'm happy where I am now.
Out the matchbox car.
Yeah, I'm not that short.
Speaking of short, we're not short of any action around here, because Marsden is now all over himself here. He'll be filthy with that self-spin, and he's got some people trying to unlap themselves right behind him. That VF Commodore, I don't know who it is. I cannot tell you from the life of me.
I'm going to have a guess. It's going to be Nick Mello. No, it's not him. Who could it be?
Could it be Albertsma?
Yes.
It is. Well, there you go.
Correct.
Yes, comments from the Supercoach. As he's literally just trundling around at the moment. Albertsma is close to where I thought he would be by the end of the race, but yeah, sometimes things just don't work out the way you think. But Scotty Garrick, my dear friend, sitting in 12th, he's only 3 seconds off Mallow, but Mallow's got a bit of a gap between himself and 10th. So our comments from earlier there, Chris, I might have just gone a bit ahead of myself there, but
Still 12 laps to go. Anything can happen. Luke Newing, as we've said earlier, he is quick. He is quick on his day. He's certainly quick in qualifying spec, but his consistency needs just a little bit, maybe a couple more kicks up the rung, as you can say, up the ladder, and he'll definitely be one of the top 5. You see, week in, week out, he qualifies well and just struggles a little bit in race trim, but that's all going to come to him. He is one of the biggest improvers in the last couple of seasons since joining AK Racing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Really gets around it. He gets around the Discord. He's learning a lot about setup as well. And as you can see, when in qualifying and in the top 10 shootout, that thing is on rails just visually. And just looking at it now, it's not really wiggling around much in the rear. It's fairly planted. Testament to his driving ability as well. Obviously, him and Hawkins doing a lot of setup work behind the scenes.
Very much so, and it's a testament to everyone. You know, 2 brains are better than 1. So if you can get your teammate on board and really help each other, it's just going to pay dividends by the end of every race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You want your teammate to bounce ideas off. When it comes to strategy as well, you can run alternate strats. You can test the waters really. As you said, 2 brains are better than 1. 2 cars are better than 1 on track as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Anyone listening out there and you haven't made the most of your teammate, get involved. You're there. They're only a DM away, and you've all got your team channels. So make the most of it. Harley Marshall sets 2:04.3 last lap. That's his personal best of the race. He's coming. He's on the super softs. He's pit for supers.
Beautiful segue there, Chris. I was just about to mention him because he's pitted for supers and he's only 9 seconds away from Walshy. So, you know, at this rate, if you're on low fuel and you've got your super softs on, you could be at least 1.5-2 seconds quicker a lap. Yeah. And at this rate, he's literally only 5 laps off him, which is about as long as we've got left in this race, to be truthful.
There you go. So
as Walshy pits. So there you go. That's all done and dusted.
Yeah, Walshy's chucked the supers on as well, and he's 19 seconds off. So that's that. Top 3, big gaps in between them. The next one down, looking at the timing tower. Brandon Pierce has come in for supers as well. A lot of the mid-packers have done the same.
So we're on lap 40. Well, on lap 52 at the moment, or 51 for everyone else apart from Matthew Cotter.
Mm-hmm.
And Harley Marshall pitted on lap 49. So if we're looking at the stats there, 2 laps younger for Walshy with those super softs on. This could come back to bite Harley Marshall if he does make an error somehow on track, but let's not jinx him at the moment because it's been an absolutely brilliant race from Harley, as it has been from Matthew Cotter. He hasn't got much airtime at our mate out in front, but geez, it's been a clinic. It really has. Just as we say, a clinic. Just classic Cotter, just slides the arse in and makes it stick somehow. I got no idea how he does it. It's just beyond me, beyond my scope of skill. But credit so far to this gentleman. He's literally kept it clean most of the race.
Look at that, and he is pushing to the limit as well.
He's flying here.
No, he's 26 seconds down the road.
Gone.
Yeah, he's not taking it easy. He's not putting. He's not cruising to the finish line. He's trying to put in fastest lap after fastest lap. Will that come back to bite him?
Look, I don't think he's got too much of a risk, to be truthful here. He's half a minute in front. At the worst thing that could happen is he's maybe 1.5 seconds slower if he completely burns the tyres out, and he's only got 2 laps to go, so he'll still win by 20 seconds.
Well, here's a move here from Luke Newing. He's onto the supers and he's making ground up towards Brodie Sharp at a rate of knots. So I suspect this is going to be on here by the end of the top half of this lap.
Oh, without a doubt.
There's always battles happening as the tyres go off and new tyres come on
Oh, Newing's just tapped the wall.
He has. His eyes are too big for his belly at the moment. Just gotta calm it down there. Yeah, there's a car in front, but once he overtakes, there you go. There's an easy one, and that was pretty close. Holy moly, Sharp just getting off the track. Yeah, that's a wise idea. He's probably got some traffic coming down. That might be Nick Mello, our Bertsman there. Must be Nick Mello, but unlucky for Sharp. But that's a easy manoeuvre for Luke Newing up into 9th position.
Now, Alex's dad has asked in the chat, how long do the super softs last? Now, they've probably only got about 7 or 8 laps in them until they're absolutely rubbish, Mr. McEwen. So obviously Alex hasn't pitted, so there's no point in him doing anything different at this stage. But that's how long you would generally get at around Bathurst anyway, and most tracks that don't have a high tyre deg, it's about 7 or 8 laps.
7 or 8. We've got both the top 2 runners on soft, so there's no reason for them to change that strategy, and pretty much anyone going down the order. All the gaps are now out. The next one might be Scotty Garrick, who is 4.8 seconds.
In 11th year?
Yeah, he's 4.8 seconds behind Brodie Sharp, and he is on the faster tyre with 5 minutes to go. You can see Brodie Sharp in the distance there going up Mountain Straight. So this could be our next battle on track if Scotty can keep it together. As Nick Mello actually posts the fastest lap of the race at 2:03.1. Where's Nick Mello? He is in 12th, so he's on the supers as well, and he's flying. Scotty Garrick has brought that gap down to under 4 seconds, or just under 4. Yeah, just under 4 seconds now. I'll shut my mouth next time. Sorry, Scott. That's an awkward position too. There's Nick Mello coming up. Oh, Cooper Shipley, sorry. There's Andrew Ferguson. And good little flick spin. Well done. That is any chance of Scotty Garrick making up that top 10 position gone. Excuse me.
Look, I had him there in the top 10. He was so close, and you ruined it for both of us.
Maybe
Thank
I
you very
ruined
much.
it. Yeah, I think I ruined it.
That's what I'm saying.
So he switched to his teammate, Guy Duff, who's seen no love over this broadcast. He's in the... What would you call that colour? The bronze...
I'd call that African elephant brown.
African elephant brown.
Elephant horse poo. African elephant poo brown.
There you go. Is that a Dulux colour? Can you paint your house that colour, or
Colorbond?
Can you get that
Colorbond.
Yeah, Colorbond. You get that at Bunnings.
Yeah, you can actually. Yeah, you can get Colorbond at Bunnings.
There you go.
But nonetheless, very nice, because the black and the orange does look good.
It does. There's some colours just in the spectrum that just pop together. Black always pops with most of the burnt orange. Okay, there we go. Get input from Laurie there in the comments. Burnt orange. And
Laurie just keeping it civilised and mature. We just tend to go off on the rails there again. Thank you very much, our friend.
African elephant orange. That's a colour. Sure.
It's still a colour. I can call it whatever I want. It's still a colour.
Looking at Guy Duff. He hasn't filled out our questionnaire, so I don't know where he's from. We're going to guess he's racing from Botswana with that colour.
Could be.
Yeah. Zimbabwe.
It'll be a miracle. I'd love to live in Botswana if that's the case, because his ping's only 24.
Well,
and
Australia is notoriously bad on the world scale for ping and internet speeds. So he could be racing from Botswana and still have a pretty good ping.
We had if we had championship points for the best ping, Daniel Walsh should be winning it by about 5 lengths at the moment. He's got a ping of 7.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty quick. He must have the fibre to the to the door.
Private to the premises.
Yep.
He must live right next to the exchange. His house must be the first one on the exchange and live in a street by himself, because that is insane.
Yeah, his dad's dug up the front nature strip on his own, laid that pipe all the way just directly straight into his sim rig. There you go, Walshy. No excuses now. You've got the best ping on the grid.
Yeah, absolutely. So now it's all petered out a bit here for the last lap of the race. At this stage, it looks like it could be, because we've only got 1:44 to go. And Cotter is just circulating across the top of the mountain here. He's going through the S's and just coming onto Conrod Straight now. So might be the last lap coming up for himself.
No, we'll have one more after this with 1:24 to go. I'm not sure.
He's been flying. He's literally just done. What was his last lap? Sorry to interrupt you there, Chris.
A 2:06 flat.
2:06, so he's a bit off the pace there, but that's a pretty good credit to him, considering that those softs have been on his car for a while.
Look at that.
And now Harley Marshall is just completely ruined.
He's gone. He's DNF'd.
He's gone.
He's gone. Harley Marshall has DNF'd with 50 seconds to go on the clock. No, Harley, what have you done?
What are you doing, mate?
Oh, that's tragic. No. We've just seen his teammate in the pits as well, so there's Lockie Grant. He's had enough. And
what has happened?
Poor old Harley Marshall's gone. He's out of the server. That elevates Ferguson up to 4th. That's a bloody great result for him. Walsh is now on the podium. Holy moly.
And that'll promote Delaney to 5th and Marsden into 6th.
Up to 6th, yeah. Everyone's going to jump a spot until Marshall gets back into the server. Can he do it? Can he get back in? I think he's finished.
Done.
He's only got 16 seconds to go. Cotter's on his last lap now. Is it +1? Do we know? I think it's not. I think this is the last lap there for Matt Cotter. Let's give him a wrap.
This has been an incredible drive from Matthew Cotter. He's basically done an Alex McEwen from last round and nearly a minute in front of everyone at the minimum. 46 seconds as we speak, and just gliding it across the top of the mountain. It's just been really good from him. I highly commend him for this effort, and it's just been very, very skillful. Dodging traffic, dodging anything that's been spinning in the wrong way around, and just making the most of his pit stop strategies.
Yeah, dodging high lap times as well. He's been on the quick end of the scale the whole night. Harley Marshall is in the chat saying he's done. Harley,
he is done.
You had one lap to go. Can we get you for a post-race interview? Stick around in your mumble chat.
Yes, please, Harley.
If you are around and listening, just stay in your mumble chat. We might come and have a chat to you after the race. See what happened there. But Matt Cotter now coming down into the final time of the chase. Look at that Look at that ZB Commodore go. He hasn't stepped a foot wrong all day. He's been on the incorrect side of maybe a bit of pit strategy, but you see his driving skills shining through at the end. And Matt Cotter will take out the first Enduro race of the season here at AK Racing. And that is actually one more lap to go for Matt Cotter. It must be 2 hours +1. So we're going to have to come back to him next time and give him a little wrap. But we're going to swap back to Alex McEwen, who has also been pretty good today.
I'll tell you what, if he DNFs on this last lap, Chris, that is the worst commentator's curse I've ever seen in my life. It'll never be topped ever with that effort. But Alex McEwen is just doing the same thing as Cotter done. Stayed out of the way of a lot of people. Unfortunately, got caught up early with that lap traffic of Walsh. But that's racing. Unfortunately, that's sometimes what you get caught up in.
I mean, you look at the gap now; it's 47 seconds. So I don't think it would have made too much of an issue. But I'll tell you what, if Alex could have stayed in front there for that second stint on those tyres, who knows? Anything could have happened. Just get Matt Cotter a little bit frustrated behind, and this whole race could have turned out a bit differently. But I think Alex would be pretty happy with a second place anyway.
Well, by far.
Who we got here? Third, Daniel Walsh. He's on track for his first podium here at AK Racing.
That's a good question. I think it could be.
I think it might be. And what a time to do it here at probably the biggest race of the season here at Bathurst. Everybody loves this track. Iconic in Australian motorsport. And to get a podium here at AK Racing, where we have the best drivers in the country. And I don't say that with any bias, but there's Jimmy Parker in there at turn 3. We do have the fastest drivers here, the most competitive league in the country. So if you're watching at home and you think you can stack it up against some of these guys, just have a look up the top.
Chris, Matthew Cotter is just about to cross the line.
Here we go.
What an effort. Chris, brother, give it away, son.
Here he goes. He does finish first in the first Enduro event of the season. Well done, Matt Cotter. That is an absolute huge drive. Let's get a look at some celebratory burnouts. I'm sure he'll give us some up the hill here. We've got a long way to wait before Alex McEwen comes over the line. Yes.
Yes. Give us some burnouts, son.
There we go. Bit of line lock up the hill. Bit of smoke.
That's beautiful to
Alex
see.
McEwen still coming into the chase. What an absolute demolition job there from Cotter. He was off the second row. Got an absolutely brilliant start from what I remember. Gets around James Delaney
and
from
Matthew,
that start.
as McEwen slides it, and look at that. That's some inertia stuff for you there, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. Very good car control there from Alex McEwen. Takes second place on the podium. A beautiful livery.
Beautiful livery too, and as well she comes down into the final corner. Further 2 hours commencement of Bathurst, and that will be your top 3. He's also doing his best impression of Taniguchi, and that's an excellent effort too there by young Daniel Walsh.
Yeah, very good first podium for him, and what a time to do it.
Big points on offer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I don't know if it's double points, maybe 2/3 points.
It is 2/3 points
for this long race.
Now I'll tell you what, the Ferguson household at the moment, that's got to be put up there now. Surely the kids are going to buy him a new set of wheels. That's got to be a new set of rims for 4th place. Is he getting spun? What's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Ferguson, crikeys.
Is that Nick Mello?
Mello's just given him a "how's your father?" and
we're on different
luckily he's crossed the line.
Well, that was an unexpected finish there, but there we go. Ferguson with his best finish of the season so far, top 4. As you said, the Ferguson household, they will be hearing about this for weeks. I suspect the neighbours will as well. James Delaney's popped it back to the pits. Stephen Marsden in 6th. Brandon Pearce might be in his best result of the season so far, and if the Donuts have anything to say about it, I'd say we're correct in assuming that. Poor old Luke Newing had a tough time there for 8th. Brody Sharp, can't see him. Nick Mello again under the pump, behind the 8 ball from the start. Maybe an early pit stop. We're not quite sure what happened. But he was on a bit of a comeback that whole time. Scotty Garrick doing some mad burnouts there after finishing 11th. Johnny Madigan on his first time out this season gets 12th.
Top 15 for John Madigan. That's a brilliant effort.
Yeah, great stuff there from him. Lawrence Smith after shocking start, getting all turned around in the first lap. Great recovery drive there for 13th. Paul Huddy, brand new to AK Racing. Well done there, son. He's got himself a 14th on debut. Harley Marshall, well, how to throw away a podium. I'll tell you what, maybe we should tune in. Maybe we should go and chat to young Harley and see what happened.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll have to go and find our winner first in Matthew Cotter. That was an absolute stunning drive by himself. We'll see if we can get him up for an interview, Chris. I'll let you run with that one.
All right. Well, you get your questions sorted, and we'll get him in on the channel. Here he is. Here, Matthew Cotter, our winner of the first Enduro event of the year. That was a really impressive drive, mate. You won by about 50 seconds in the end. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good actually from that long distance, so not too bad.
It was.
How did you find the middle stint there? There was a couple of halfway mark of the race at about 1 hour to go. There was 3 or 4 cars facing the wrong way over the top of the mountain into the S's, and we were looking at each other going, "Oh, geez, what's going on here?" Well, I think a safety car was going to be called. But how were you placed at that point in time, strategy wise?
I was just tanking and going, basically tank tyres and just keep it smooth and clean for strategy. I didn't really have one, just kept on going and worked for me in the end.
That's
Certainly.
excellent. And Chris, you've got a couple more questions too there.
In that first stint, when you came out just behind Alex McEwen, he'd popped a bit of a undercut on you. How glad were you to see Daniel Welsh there just blocking the way for you?
I knew those two were going to battle. I was like, I'm just going to hold back here and let it play out. And I actually got lucky compared to McEwen. Just managed to sneak up the inside of Walsh, and McEwen lost about 5 seconds for another few laps after that. So I got lucky there.
Yeah, we were riding on board with McEwen, just feeling his frustrations as we saw you just slowly walking away lap by lap. But not taking away the win there. You won by close to a minute, so I guess it was all inconsequential in the end. But yeah, mate, congratulations to you on the first Enduro win of the season. You really put a stamp on this championship now.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
One more question before we leave you. What the hell did you do at the start there? That's one of the best starts I've ever seen in AK racing. You just blitzed everyone, went split the middle. It was brilliant to see.
Yeah, whoever's on the right got a bit of wheel spin, chucked it to the left. I think I avoided delay and and then McEwen ran wide, and it was on from there. Just went around the outside of him basically, and off we go.
It was brilliant driving. I was gobsmacked. You can watch this on the stream later on, but myself and Chris were just absolutely mind-boggled at that start. It was brilliant. But once again, congratulations, mate. That was a fantastic drive and very convincing in the end. Very clean. No real incidents that we could sort of say that was a bit hairy. It was just excellent to see.
Thanks, guys.
Neat. And here we are with one time, with about 2 minutes to go, we were shouting out, this is the drive of the day. We're joined here by Harley Marshall. Talk us through what happened in that final lap.
I was nursing a damaged engine for the whole race, basically, and just shifted too early, and she was gone, mate. Stupid.
So that was a blown engine we saw there at the end.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
That's
I carried it from like lap 7 when I had that off track down the end of Conrod with Garrick, and yeah, all I needed to do was just bring it home.
yeah, lessons learnt, and mate, hopefully you're better for it next time. That's tragic.
Damn it.
Yeah, did you do the old Nick? No, it wasn't Nick. It was Tim Slade. Tim Slade, I remember in the real race, he accidentally shifted from third to first in one go and just basically over-revved the engine. Was it just a case of just that, or just more of a recovery thinking I'm going to stick it into the wall here if I don't shift down quickly to retard the forward momentum, or what really was you've gone through your head at that point in time?
Oh, the lap before, I was just like, yep, just cruise along. You got plenty of gap. And I came into the corner, hit the brakes, and downshifted at the same time. And there was really, I wasn't risking it at all. I broke way early, as I was all race. Just stick to being smooth and bring it home. But one shift and it was all over.
Yeah, there's that was the biggest tragedy of the race we've seen so far. You've come from a fair way back to, I think, the 5th row start. To make your way up to the podium positions was impressive, to say the least. On track for the drive of the day, but I don't think we can give it to you now. What do you think?
No, please don't.
It was the drive of the day up until 2 minutes to go. But no, mate,
I looked up at seeing the clock at 1:23, and I just basically walked to the toilet swearing, and my missus was like, be quiet, the kids are asleep. But yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, we get that a lot here at AK Racing. It's cutthroat out here, but thanks for participating anyway, giving us a great show, and hopefully everyone at home can feel your pain, and we'll get behind your next race.
Just a quick one before you finish there, Harley. What happened to your teammate in Mr. Lachlan Grant? We sort of half got it, but what was the end result?
I haven't spoken to him. He must be cranky as well, but I think he lost it just before Skyline, and I passed him there. He's pretty much totaled car, suspension and all that. So that was his race.
Yeah, it was a great appearance from you both in the top 10 shootout, and for the first third of the race, or in the first half, of the race, and unfortunately that it ended the way it did. But well done again for the hour and 58 minutes that you were in there. It was a great time. We had your driver of the day, no dramas whatsoever, and as I say famously, that's racing, unfortunately. That's racing. But thanks again for having the time with us after the race, mate. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks, boys. Thanks for putting everything on. It's been good. See you later. All right, no worries there, mate. That was our hero to zero, Harley Marshall, coming across the line in the end in the 15th position. Had that podium stitched up. Oh, I tell you what, it's been a good night of racing, Zach. I'm absolutely buggered. Yeah, it's been an absolutely fantastic event to be part of, and it's a credit to everyone. We still had about 25 or 6 cars on the track by the time we finished the 2-hour racing. So here at AK Racing, thank you very much to all of our participants from start to finish, and everyone else who stuck around, and our most important people on the YouTube, our viewers. Thank you very much for being here and watching it with us and joining us for the last 2.5, 3 hours. It's been a long night. But well worth it in the end. It's one of those endurance rounds where we thoroughly enjoy being a part of, and it's a privilege to be here with yourself, Chris, and to be a part of this great community. No, thank you very, very much, Zach, for joining us once again as our main commentator for the season. My name has been Chris Munro, and that has been Zach O'Reilly, and still is, and will be next time around. When we tackle, I believe it's Barbagallo next round. So we're going from one of the biggest tracks on the calendar to one of the smallest. It's going to be about a 50 odd second lap. So we're going to be up to our necks in action, I believe. There will be 3 races there to our viewers at home. We'll have, and they'll progressively get longer. But it'll be all on like Donkey Kong, because that track is super high deg and very tough on the tyres. So, your laps are only 54, 55 seconds, but that's just something to look forward to as we get there in a couple of weeks' time, Chris. Absolutely, and I'll be looking forward to the call with you, my man. But for tonight, I think that's about all she wrote. So we're going to wrap it up. Thanks all of our viewers for tuning in and bringing the comments in. It's good to interact with the viewers at home. Makes us feel like we're not streaming to anyone or no one. So that's good. At least we've got a couple of people out there. Makes us feel like we're streaming to a lot of people is what we're trying to get across there, everyone. Yes. Yeah, that's right. I feel like a little Scafey and Crompto here up in the AK Racing commentary box, but that's enough from us tonight. Yeah, no bias here. We don't have any Red Bulls and all that crap, so don't stress, ladies and gentlemen. You've got just 2 dickheads having a crack at it. So thank you for sticking around. Leave it up to you, Chris. Wrap us up, mate. Let's wrap it up there. We'll join us next week for the Aussie Race Cars series from Bathurst as well. So that's going to be an absolute cracker. We've got the week off in Wednesday Cup, so the next time around will be in a couple of weeks for that. So our next stream will be next week for the Aussie Race Cars. And until then, it's been an absolute pleasure to stream this for you guys. And take it easy. Have a good night. And that'll be us signing off. Hooray.